eyes. It's like I can't walk on the ceiling. Oh yeah, got me dreaming, dreaming in colors I never dreamed in. Oh yeah, I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, magic. No, I'm never letting go. Now that I have it with you. When you kiss me, it's like the stars fall out the sky onto my heart to cover up what I don't wanna show. I let you in deeper than I let anyone else before. Filling up with my broken pieces, took them all and made them yours. Didn't know what my heartbeat needed, skipping out, no I can't keep score. When I lose my breath, boy, you got me breathing. Oh, every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Every little thing you do, every time you hold me, take me higher, higher. Oh, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, you take me higher, baby, you take me higher, yeah, you take me higher, baby.
Welcome to Radical Truth to Power, the progressive show with Let's BS3. I am your host, Marlon, along with Theas. And on today's show, we're going to kind of chill out a little bit. I mean, we do have one serious thing to talk about. It's the protest that happened 2 weeks ago, pro-Palestinian protest that they held in D.C., London, basically a lot of cities and a lot of countries. Our own baby mafia, Parker, had put a video together, and I just wanted to show it to everybody. And then we're just going to chill out. We're going into the holiday season. We don't need to be getting into all this deep stuff, but as soon as I say that, you know how we is. We're going to get into some deep stuff. Two things at the beginning of this is I'm not feeling too well, so no, it's not family and friends and issues and everything. I'm literally just don't feel good. But I know this was the show before the holidays. I want to get something out there. Also, my internet is not working too well. As a matter of fact, what you may not have known was during the song, I was knocked off the system. So yeah, had a hustle. So this, if you see me pause or something like that, I'm off the system. Just keep talking. I'll be back in. So nothing wrong. I mean, it will literally let me back in very quickly, but don't panic. I'll be right back.
Yeah, no problem. You're
Um,
doing a little temporary freeze thing going on, but I can still
uh,
hear you most times.
oh yeah, I clearly see that right now. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Um, what's up? Final show before the holidays. Thanksgiving is way too early this year. So we like one day earlier than what we normally is, but
I mean, that's why I was telling my daughter. I was like, you got Thanksgiving, and 3 weeks later you got Christmas, and then 1 week later you're at New Year's, and then welcome 2024. So
and then after that, I'm the King in February. Uh, you know, so enjoy some time off. Thank you, Marlon, for kicking the butt. I just said we're live, Nikki. That's all I said. Welcome. And yeah, Parker is saying that I'm a little glitchy, and I have the show on another TV and everything, and I can see myself like looking like an idiot.
yeah,
To be honest with you. So
going to be an interesting ride, y'all, because you
it,
know the creative mastermind here is Mr. Marlin, but I got Anna here, so we will
yeah,
power through. Hey, Anna.
Hey, 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 guys! I am on my mother's laptop, and I now need to figure out which way to go. How's your weekend been?
Weekend's been good. Can't complain.
Good, good. I just
How
said
about
goodbye
you?
to my nephew and my brother, so we just had our weekly family get together, and going really well. It was a very busy weekend. I had support groups. I had people in need of personal support, which takes a lot of time and energy. But man, when you see in the beginning everything held so tight, and then after about an hour of, okay, let's talk, and everything relaxes, and that kind of um, payment, if you will, it's worth its weight in gold. Just to see somebody else's, it's just the weight gets off of their chest, they can breathe a little bit. It's
Hmm.
I'm encountering a lot of people who need help, and that help is just to be heard.
Yeah, people are very, very stressed out and lonely. Um, yeah, which it's unfortunate because it
And
doesn't take much for your world to flip and you go from being one way and then being another way. It doesn't take
yeah,
much, y'all. Doesn't take much. Sometimes it can take a moment.
I keep in mind what you have said to us about how you bring this up to your daughters, that you don't know what somebody else's day is like, and your kind word, murmur and utter, just that little bit of respect, man, it can go a long way. Those are some really great words, and I thank you for sharing those with us.
Oh no, my honor, my pleasure. Yeah, I'm a firm believer in that. I also believe that sometimes you don't even have to say anything. In fact, I would say most times you
Mm-hmm.
don't have to say anything. People are literally watching you all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And the one who needs you the most is probably the one that you've never heard from, you've never met, but they draw from you. And that's
Mm-hmm.
not to say that you can't have your ups and downs and all that, because you can. But just understand that how you respond to things is bigger than you. And that's a heavy weight for some people to carry. And honestly, I don't think most people want to carry that or willing to carry it. So yeah.
True. And yeah, as Mickey says, I'm beyond stressed with the situation of so many, including our government, just fine with the Israeli genocide of Palestinians. And they have such a hard time owning up to that word genocide. They have even a hard time owning up to the word oppression.
Well, because to the aggressor, you create your own story, especially when you're powerful. So you
Right.
don't have to. It's no different than the things that there are differences, but it's similar to what we talk about here in America, how the larger, white community is able to move on certain things because they prioritize things differently. And
Yeah.
one of the great things about being in power is you have the option to not pay attention, or you have the ability to rewrite the narrative. And that's all the Israeli government is doing, because the
Mm-hmm.
Israeli government is who's doing this, and like they have their own Zionist world order thing that they're doing, but
Yeah.
the Israeli people, right? They're a blend. You got the people who are just like that, and you got other people who are just trying to live their life, and
You
they're
also have
subject to what their
Arab
government's doing.
Israelis.
Yeah, you have
Very,
all
very
kinds of
little
things
talked
going
about.
on,
Yeah, it's a
you know.
very diverse region.
Yeah, so it's tough. Me personally, I don't follow the conflict over there too close.
Mm.
Because honestly, it's
It's
just not that's
frustrating.
not my it's not my battle. Also,
And
because
okay.
I can only I can only cause myself damage. Like I can't cause any benefit or
Mhm.
correction, right? Because I can't seem to manage to do that here, right? So what annoys me most about the whole thing is,
I would disagree on the benefit, but anyway.
well, that's
Well,
fair, and
yeah.
and I could be mistaken, right? But but that's one of the reasons I don't get too caught up in all those things. I try to be aware of it because we're all dealing with something similar. We're all dealing with power dynamics, right? And
Yeah.
the abuses that stem from them. And that's what is happening over there. Plus
Hmm.
you wrap some religion in there, and then we're off to the races.
Yeah.
But that's the same thing happening here. I just wish people would look at what's happening over the last 60 years between the Israeli and the Palestinian people, who are like the same people. You know, most of them are like the same people,
The cousins.
except for the European Jewish people who came over, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
But you look at what's happening there and you look at the trajectory of what we're dealing with in our local politics, and it's like we're just kind of looking down a looking glass. Israel is America in 20 years.
Mm, that's a scary thought to me. But we already share so many things in common.
I mean, you look at what they did, right? They don't like they find Islam to be inconvenient, so they demonize it. They say that we have an open democracy, but you are a second class citizen. That's what they did with the black people here. This whole second class citizenship, and like Malcolm X said, there's no such thing as second class citizenship. You're either a citizen or you're not. You know, so they're doing
Agreed.
that. They have, for us, it was called Jim Crow segregation. For them, it's really just apartheid. You are over there, we are over here. And when we find that we want more, we're going to come take what we gave you. Well, that's the Native American story, right? We're going to put you over here, but then we're going to like, wait a minute, we need a little bit more, so we're going to come take some more. So it's the stories overlap so much.
Yeah.
And that's just because I know those two stories. You can go to other countries, hate to put it this way, that Europeans have touched, and the story repeats itself all over again, right? So,
Especially the British, my people.
and this,
And
yeah, the
yeah.
British and the Spanish are like the two
Yep.
biggest, and the French did their thing, but then they eased up. But
Yeah.
their hands are dirty too.
Hmm.
It's the colonizing mindset. It's the my religion, my God says that I'm entitled to take what you have. And if I'm wrong, then you will be stronger than me and you will defeat me. Those are the only logic centers that we work with is my guy said this is my land, you are in my land. You can either become subservient to me and submissive, in which case I will not destroy your people, I will just subjugate them, or you can resist me and then I have to destroy you. That is the European mindset across the entire globe, and it's what it did to themselves. Like they did it to themselves. So this is something that is cultural, and it just keeps playing out. And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. And then I've had somebody push on me before, and they're like, "Well, you say that, but if it was anybody else, it'd be the same thing." I said, "We don't have the opportunity to look at that.
Right.
We don't have an ability to test that."
No.
Every major culture that is out here has been infiltrated, subjugated, or destroyed by the European.
Yep.
Every last one. There is no indigenous culture that benefited from being introduced. And we're still watching mainly European nations go into places that haven't been touched yet. Like remember the one where the Asian guy, he's a Christian, what's the word? You know, the people who go and spread missionary. And he went to that island that they said don't go to that island, and the people killed him. Right? That was a couple years ago.
Yep.
Well, now you got a bunch of little European Christians going right back to it. And now they've actually made contact with these people, which means these people ain't going to be the same in about 20 years.
Right.
So that's just more of that. But hey, Tracy.
Tracy.
Hey, Tracy. I think my internet is a lot better now. I really do. I'm moving a lot. I'm moving normally, so I cheated. I just rebooted the whole computer while y'all was talking. I knew y'all was gonna hold it for a while, so I was like, you know what? Wait a minute.
Well, that's cool. You can do that without losing everything.
Right. That we still keep going.
And as soon as I say that, it look like it's going down again. Yeah.
Oh no, I can still hear you very well.
That was my
I don't know what that was.
Oh, that was you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was me.
It sounded like cartoon.
Well, it's gonna sound bad to even do this now, but let's get this party started, even though we already have. And let's catch up on some things real quick.
Hey,
What's
Captain
going
Sunshine.
on, Captain? How you doing? Parker is in the house as usual. Mickey is saying hello.
Hey, Mickey.
And hello, LL. How you doing tonight?
Captain Sunshine.
Good to see everybody.
All right. So again, in case you didn't catch it from the beginning, and since y'all was already on the subject, and Parker was absolutely right, I was giving you the look of. Can y'all hold this for like a few seconds? I have the video of the protest, but
you told us to hold it down when you free to go off.
We were trying to keep it very, very general, and I think we did a good job on that.
You did an excellent job. I'm just messing with you. Here's the protest that happened in DC, London, a couple of other places that our very own Baby Mafia Parker put together. He stitched some videos together. So this happened 2 weeks ago. The protests, the demonstrations. I don't want to use protests. The demonstrations are still going on. So let's go ahead and see Parker's handiwork here.
And he is a member of the Palestinian youth movement.
We want
want justice, you say how? We want justice, you say how? End the siege on Gaza now! End the ethnic cleansing now! We're gathered here in the capital of U.S. empire to unequivocally demand the end to Israel's genocide of Gaza, the end to the brutal siege of our people, and the end to U.S. military aid for Israel.
But real quick, we just want to say, we're going to stand with Palestine. Just like June Jordan and Malcolm X, James Baldwin and Angela Davis, we stand with Palestine. Like Malcolm X and Nelson Mandela and Muhammad Ali, we stand with Palestine. Like my big brother Kwame Ture and Ethel Minor Snake, the Black Panther Party, Sister Fatima Barnawi, Afro-Palestinian freedom fighter, and so many other African people, we will always stand with Palestine. Africa stands with Palestine. Africa stands with Palestine. Victory to Palestine.
I've seen all the graphic pictures. I've seen everything in Palestine. At this point, there's no limit for what I can't see. I've seen everything now. For everything Gaza. And for a 9th grader, at first it was scary, and then it became less scary as you saw more and more of it. And if this is how I feel outside of Gaza, imagine how the people in Gaza feel.
From the mouth of babes.
And
Well,
and I do feel some type of way about that last statement, that I was feeling scared or frightened or angry when I first saw it, and now not so much. And it's the desensitizing events that's going to occur, and that's what hurts more.
I don't think that's what he's saying.
No, he didn't say it, but I'm just have a feeling that's what the feeling is. If you're so used to seeing death and destruction, you can't feel the same way like the first time you saw it.
Well, that's
that's a human thing. You could have that same feeling of wanting to stop it. You could have that same level, but it just that desensitizing that you don't turn your face away anymore. You don't shed tears anymore. You don't rage out anymore. It's cause, and that's not more or less talking about America or being human or anything else. It's more or less of, do you catch the concept that this is happening way too effing much? And if it wasn't this country, it'd be another freaking country.
I mean,
it happens here all the damn time. Darn time.
Yeah, I feel you. What I was saying that I don't know if that's what he's saying is from the standpoint of like, I know how I feel. And I've expressed this many times over the years that we've been together. I can't even really get as angry anymore when I see certain atrocities happening, when I know they're gonna happen. Like when you know the nature of the beast that you're up against, when it first happens, it's very shocking. It's very drawing. It hurts. It's all of the emotions come forward. But after the second and the third, you're not becoming desensitized. You're starting to shift your mindset. Well, some people become desensitized. People like me, we're not becoming desensitized. What we're doing is we're realizing we're in a fight. All the rosy, I wish it was different, all that's gone, right? Like I can function and seem normal all the time, but please believe, I believe I'm at war. I believe my people are at war. We're fighting a guerrilla war behind enemy lines. They're trying to destroy our history, destroy our bodies, destroy our young men, destroy our women, destroy our professional opportunities, destroy our religious freedoms, and they're targeting it constantly. So when you have this young man who, it's almost like what America and some of the Jewish punditry is saying is someone like that young man is supposed to deny his own blood, his own people, and see their side. And he's basically saying you are creating the next generation of your own enemy, right? Because you, and this is taking it away from him, but Israel was attacked. In my opinion, Israel was attacked because of circumstances that they've continued to allow to fester and grow to the point that something abhorrent lashed out at them. Okay? That was wrong. That was a terrorist act, right? I agree with that because you targeted civilians and it was just terrible. But you're almost punished now. You're shamed if you try to draw the distinction between Hamas, the terrorist group, and the Palestinian people that you're killing indiscriminately out of your bloodlust. You have dehumanized. And what's so tacky about this situation is the Jewish community, foreign and abroad, foreign and domestic, you know what it is to be dehumanized. You know what it is to be marginalized. You know what it is to be killed indiscriminately. And now that you are in the power position, you are delivering that same fate onto someone else. All the while claiming victimhood. All the while doing it in the name of the people who were murdered under the fascistic, evil regime of Adolf Hitler. You intone the name of these innocent victims as you go and create new victims. But anyone like me is wrong for saying stop killing people that you know have nothing to do with this. You have the maybe third or fourth most capable military on the planet. You have among the top 3 special forces that all even the rest of us rely on. And yet your response is to close your eyes, pick a target, blow the whole thing up. And we're supposed to just say, well, you shouldn't have hit them. They hit it, they got hit first, so they're just hitting back. No.
They have openly stated this is not about targeting Hamas. This is about eradicating Palestine. They call them beasts, human animals. They are so open about their objective.
Now you even called it mowing the grass.
Mowing the grass, exactly.
Right? So the head of your government calls the genocide of an entire people that you are tired of having, because this is what it is. You were forced to tolerate their existence. So you made it an apartheid state, right? The global community would not condone you eliminating these people. So you said, fine, but we're going to build our walls and all the good stuff over here. Keep them over there. Whatever they do, that's their business. I'm walking you through the story. That's their business, right? But the people that you have put over there have now been disassociated from their land, their history, and their rights. So they start fighting back against you however they do it. So then you're like, wait a minute, you're harming my people. I don't care what I did to y'all. You're harming my people. I have to defend my people. So you start expanding your territory so you can get some buffer zones, right? So you'll be able to react in a much more effective way if someone tries to attack you. Okay, so you do that. Now you're justifying what you're doing to these people. And all the while, you go in periodically to break up their command structure, break up their governing structure, make sure they don't have any law enforcement to speak of, make sure they don't have any commercial infrastructure so they can create wealth and they can even be able to compete with you. You do all of that periodically. You just go in and mess things up every couple years. It's just what you do. It's a matter of your own national policy. And so that creates more confusion and anger. So these people will start fighting back even more. And now it's just a fight. It's just a fight. And you claim victimhood, even though if they throw a rock, you shoot a rocket.
Yeah.
You know, and then all that aside, at the end of the day, when you have the ability to decide that what's happening is not to our best interest and it's not to everyone's best interest, you have the power and the ability to redefine the landscape. If Israel did not want to continue on this path, Israel could choose a slightly different path. I'm not saying Israel can't defend itself or fight back in. I'm not saying none of that. I'm saying they can choose how to respond.
Mm-hmm.
What they chose was, we're tired of the irritation. Let's just clean house. And we have documents showing that Netanyahu built to this moment on purpose.
Yes. Including his government support of Hamas. I was reading a report, and I forget the number, so I'm not going to try to stretch for it, but they were identifying the people who were killed in the October 7th attack. There were a great deal of IDF members in those identifications. So it seems like Hamas did quite a targeted attack, and nobody is ever saying an attack like that is right. But I understand it. I understand the response and the amount of propaganda that's coming out of Israel. These aren't hospitals, Al-Sifa. This is a cover for Hamas. Their sorry, I'm forgetting the words.
Like their bases or whatever.
Thank you. Their military bases. And you actually go into the history of this. Israel is some of the ones that started some of those tunnels. Like, yes, tunnels do exist. And yes, Palestinians have gotten spoons and worked at the ground for years, only to get out and then be targeted right away. I think it was 3 days later. So what we're being fed is a lot of, at best, half-truths, and at worst, just complete misdirections.
And look who the allies are. I mean, America, this is what we do.
This is what we do. Exactly.
Right? And we've been caught with our hand in the cookie jar over and over again. The Vietnam War, the Korean War, the first Iraq War, the second Iraq War. We've been busted time and time again for creating false narratives and selectively leaking information to further our objectives. And Israel does the same thing and they've always done the same thing too. Mm-hmm. And yet, if you if you have a family member that you know lies to you all the time, mm-hmm. It's like being told by Big Mama that, yeah, you know they lie, but you gotta believe them out there in public because this is a family, and you don't go against the family, right? That's what it's like. You know, it's like America's known for lying, Israel's known for lying, Hamas is known for lying. You know, all these people are known for lying. But if your side puts out a statement, you're supposed to just be like, "Yep."
Oh yeah, that's good.
All
Do you
right,
have any
everybody.
videos for us, Marlon?
I'm glad that y'all
Okay.
can hear me because I'm frozen on the other side, so they're gonna get every other word from me. So we're gonna go ahead and move on because we're this sucks rocks. And it doesn't help that I'm sick, so
If
that
I
I'm
could say
frozen.
one last thing
Sure.
is just there have been some incredible debates and interviews with a man by the name of Norm Finkelstein. And Brianna Joy Gray had him on. There was a debate. If you could look up that name, he has done an incredible job of contextualizing what is going on with actual sources, information, and people on the ground. So that's it. Just Norman Finkelstein. It's
Yeah, I think it's super important that we don't just choose sides. Um, go with the side of humanity. Like
people.
channel your best self, and then look back at it and see how you interpret it. And then for my brothers and sisters here in America, I just really hope that this time keep your eyes open and pay attention for once. I feel like I'm, Putin in the breeze trying to catch a scent when I say these things, but it's like, you know, the way they treating these people is the same way they will treat you when you decide that you want to fight back. And the same thing that they would have for these people is the same thing they would have for you. We know we don't know anymore, even though it's only been like 70 years or 60 years. But we've known what apartheid feels like. We've known what someone external to yourself dictating what your career and your housing and your education and your medical, all of these things, decisions are being made for you, external of you. We know what that is. But we pretend like that's all behind us. And you're looking in real time at this is what follows when you do this to a people.
Right.
You can do like South Africa, and I think they've done it the best out of the three nations that, America, Israel, and South Africa. They've done the best job of dismantling their apartheid system. Or you can go the Israel route, build a bigger wall, build a bigger army, and then just keep beating them down. And then you got the American route, which is subjugate them, assimilate them, but always remind them that they are not safe here, that they are guests.
All right.
Okay. I
see
have
very
to
little
finish watching.
difference.
I have to finish watching the interview that he had recently. He had an interview on this issue.
But remember, Obama can say things about Palestine now that he never could have said when he was sitting in the chair.
Yeah, he could.
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, he could. Because here's the thing about. I'm sorry, Tracy. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say I do think. Y'all know what I think about Obama, but this is the one time I think Obama was better than Netanyahu because at least he had the decency to say, "Hey, you can't be bombing them for literally no reason." So in some aspects, he was better.
I'm sorry.
Well, I think we're talking about two different things.
Yeah.
I was answering Parker's question where he was asking, "Is Obama better?" That's the question I was answering.
Than Biden.
Obama is infinitely better than Netanyahu.
No, Obama is better than Biden on the Palestine issue. That's what Parker's asking.
I think Biden is better than Obama on the Palestine issue. Just because Obama. Here's the reason why. Obama is part of how we got to this level of whatever unaccountability. Netanyahu is racist.
Absolutely.
Right? So no other president has had the leader of Israel, who is beholden to America come to his country and snub him and disrespect him like Obama. But Obama was held under the issues of being a black president in America, so he was trying to walk on his tippy toes. But this man came into your house and disrespected you at least twice. Okay? So that's why I'm like, Biden was better at it because Biden, you only can pick up from where you are, right? So Biden went to Israel, said, hey, we stand with Israel. You got to say that stuff. And then you do whatever you do behind closed doors, right? Whatever. But Obama, I don't even think he would have. I don't know what Obama would have done. He would have got out there and made some weird speech. That's what he would have done. And it just.
What a strange day that I'm defending Barack Obama. Wow, this is strange. This is strange territory.
Yeah.
I've got to say that Obama's because what Obama didn't do was say, "Oh no, you can't have a ceasefire." What? Biden called.
I missed that. Biden said no ceasefire.
No, he's been saying no to a ceasefire.
Yeah.
Every time he's asked about a ceasefire, it's like, oh no, we're calling for a break like 4 hours a day. Are you serious? No. Yeah. This is the one. Listen, I want everybody to listen to me. Come real close. This is one of the few times, few times that I'm gonna say Obama is. Well, overall, I think Obama was a better president than Biden. I still think that, but. In this particular issue, one, he got the Iran deal, which was a good thing. Mm-hmm. He got countries together that would normally never talk to each other, so that's good. Biden ain't never met a war he didn't like. This dude is talking about funding Ukraine, keep funding Ukraine, and funding Israel at $110 million. I love how we don't have money for Medicare for all, but boy,
two different things.
No, it's the same thing.
So, no, it's not. It's not.
Exactly,
one is an appropriation. It is not. One is an appropriation and one is an allocation. They're not the same thing. They come from two different things. But you can keep saying it, but it's not true. But I agree with you as far as like Biden has never met a war he hadn't liked. Biden is a war hawk. Biden will set it off wherever his corporate overlords tell him to go, because see, Biden has one concern, because he knows his butt shouldn't be running for re-election. He got one concern: how do I win? So he's not going to do anything. Okay, I don't know where that one comes from, but he wants to win because he doesn't want to be the one to blame for when they lose. So he's going to do He's going to do the stuff that a conservative Democrat would do. All right. The economy is doing well, but he knows that he'll get blamed tremendously if there's any downturn in the economy. Well, what makes money for the economy? The government the military industrial complex. So he's gonna toe the line.
Okay.
Now, where I say this, the one thing which you were saying about, I mean, we can disagree on so many different things, but I keep hearing, they keep funding Ukraine. Okay. If we don't fund Ukraine, are you willing to just say that you're fine with all the killing that will come that we could have avoided?
I don't know the answer to that question.
But it's what comes with it. If you don't, it's like, I agree that it's wrong that Russia attacked Ukraine, and America, I think, was right to insert itself because it's the only one that can make NATO stand up. So America inserted itself, and that kept the wholesale slaughter and complete takeover of Ukraine from happening. But what's funny to me is people will say, they'll use it as a cudgel and say it's wrong to keep funding Ukraine. And I'm like, you don't get to rewrite history. You have to move from where you are. So from where we are, if you cut off the funding, what happens next? And will you own it? Will you own it as the women and the children are being murdered, raped, and everything else that comes with a occupation?
Here's how I'll answer the question. And it's probably not an answer, but it's the only way I can answer. I would say look at Afghanistan and how we stayed let me make my point. We stayed. First of all, we should never have been over there in the first place. What was he doing there? We stayed. What that war lasted 20 years. 20 years.
Agreed.
Do you know how many not billions, not millions, trillions. So when I say, oh, they can find money for war, all of a sudden, where did that $110 million come from? It wasn't
It was an
allocated.
appropriation. It was an appropriation.
When was it
But
appropriated?
here's
Every
the
time they
argument.
they make money. So an appropriation. Here's the difference between an appropriation and an allocation. Domestic things are done on allocation. Domestic things go directly to the budget. So the House and the Senate, and they do all their little weird things talking about, well, if we do this, we got to have a pay for it and all the little blah, blah. Because that's because you're talking about us folk. We're talking about the people who pay taxes. But when you want to go to war, that's an that's an appropriation. You just got to write it down somewhere that we're going to war. We'll figure out the math later. And that's what we did. That's why they said that the wars were put on America's credit card, because it never had to be justified. It just had to be run up, and then you deal with it on the back end. But if you're talking about Medicare for all, you're talking about helping with housing, you're talking about any of these things, because we bring these up as like straw men in every single time. Because here's and the reason why I call it a straw man is because even if we weren't going to war, we still wouldn't put the money there.
Mm-hmm.
That's my argument.
That's our fault, because we keep electing stupid people that won't put money there.
But that's what I'm saying, though. The fact that we know they're not going to put the money there, why do we keep making that argument? It's not real.
And yet, I'm told, well, just vote for him anyway, because no.
But that's my point, Tracy.
And are you willing to take ownership of what comes with that too?
Hold on. We the only country that keep thinking it's the money. It is not the money. It's the ideal of it. That we can, if you don't do this with this money, then you could do this. That ain't how America has ever worked and never will to this point. We could never go to war. We could have never went over to the Middle East. We could have had all those trillions of dollars that you're talking about.
Yes.
And we still wouldn't have Medicaid for all. We still wouldn't have a system.
I'm not disagreeing with that.
And you know what's funny about this, Marlon? What's funny about that, Marlon? What's funny about that, Marlon, is those trillions of dollars, not only would they not have been put into domestic policy, they never would have existed, because it's not real money. Mm-hmm. It's literally just a credit card. We got, like, we're in debt to ourselves. Mm-hmm. Like, so it's not real. That's the whole thing, right? And so that's why I get so frustrated with it, because the money that they run through allocation purposes is real money, so to speak. Right, it's actually accounted for on a ledger somewhere, and you got credits and debits and all that stuff going on, and we got to vote for who does this and who does that. But an appropriation doesn't do that. It bypasses the whole thing. So if we didn't go to war and we didn't spend the trillions of dollars never would have even occurred.
That's partly what I'm saying, but what I'm overall saying is we continue to send a bunch of losers, because that's what Congress is to me. And I'm not even talking about Biden. I'm gonna just leave him out.
Wholesale, the whole Congress is garbage.
I mean, and we just keep sending them, like they have, like what, a 17% approval. Why y'all keep sending them back? Like, stop, send somebody else.
Because people don't. Here's why we keep sending back these kind of things. Because people don't want to take ownership for their actions. People just want to say something and move on. So that's why I keep pushing back. And this isn't the Chew Trader. This is anybody who comes to me with an argument of what is wrong, but no plan for how to make it right. This is why we have the situation that we have, because we go to the voting booth and we don't really know what's flowing upside, downside, because everybody lying to us. Right. So you go in there and you end up voting just for your team, or you start voting on a protest vote, or you do something like that. But there's no real rationalization. There's no real accountability in the vote. The only person that we study as we get ready to put them in office is the president. Yep. One of the least powerful people in the government. And that's the one we pay attention to.
And we should be paying attention to our city councils. We should be paying attention to our local. That's where we should be paying attention to.
I have literally sat here and told you, all you people everybody.
There
That's
you
in
go
the
with your
sound of my
people
voice.
again.
I explained who I was talking to. The sound of my voice, the people. I explained to you. You put more emphasis in what happens in DC. I get it, but that's once you get as old as I understand that was always ingrained in us anyway. That DC runs blah 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 and everything else. So it's really important that you get the right people up there. First of all, we haven't put the right people in there. I don't even know how long. Probably since I was a freaking kid. But the deal is where I tell you the difference between the people in DC and the people in your city, the people in your neighborhood, the people in your state. The difference is the DC decisions. That takes a while to get to you. It's going to get to you, but it takes a while to get to you. The city folks, yeah, that could happen next week.
Yep. Just like they passed a law in Indianapolis that it's illegal to give money to those who are unhoused.
Yep.
Illegal.
Yep.
Illegal. What? Arrest me. Just go ahead, put the handcuffs on me because I'm going. Because you're not going to tell me who to give my money to.
But that's what they do every time.
Arrested for that. Because you're not going to tell me what I can do with my money. That's like HOAs. Like, wait a minute. I'm living in this house. I'm paying for this house. I'm paying for the taxes for this house.
But you have
and you can still take my house.
Everything in this house.
And they can still take it if they don't like what you're doing.
You gonna tell me what I can do with my house.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the same thing as with that law Tracy was saying, Theo, with that the confused look on your face. Wait a minute. So I can decide what I want to do with my money.
But that's just it, man. Okay, so here's where I disagree. Like, this is that, I don't know, that social community type side of me comes out here. Like, when people say, you can't tell me what to do with my money. You're part of a society, so yeah, kind of we can. Because this part of the social contract, right? And the problem that everybody wants to be where no one can tell me what I can do with anything that I have, that's part of what gets us in these issues, is that we're so insulated and individualized that we'll be like, well, I'm gonna fight for this right, but I'm all right with this one over here. I'm gonna fight for this one, but I'm all right over here. And it's just like, but what are we trying to do as far as what's best for the nation?
Or the
right?
city. Because we're talking.
But I'm talking about how, as a citizen, your brain should kind of flow, in my opinion, when it comes to the government politics. What's good for the nation, because that's what protects you, right? What's good for your state? What's good for your city? What's good for you, right? And there's all a bunch of other little things, but those are the ones I would say is your funnel as far as how you are determining how policies are enacted. But people are jumping all over the place, and they're just going to what makes me feel right or wrong in this moment. You didn't put any real thought into it. You haven't really thought anything through. And that's how we ended up with HOAs. We ended up with HOAs because everybody wanted to do their own thing. And what happened was they were tearing up people's property value. So people who were concerned about their property values being affected got together and created this monstrosity called an HOA. And then the HOA was an okay thing at first because it was able to get your neighbor who decided he wanted to set up a mock garage in his front yard where you got 4 stray cars, a broken down boat, and another car on bricks in the driveway, to not be able to do that. That was a good thing. But then the HOA became its own creature. This is how government works too. It became its own creature that had to be fed, right? So now they can come to you and say, hey, your house can't be that shade of orange. Hey, you haven't cut your grass in a week. Hey, this weird fee that someone voted on before you even moved here, you're behind on that fee, right? It grow out of these things.
Don't be late on the HOA because you're going to lose your house or your condo.
Right. We'll put a lien on your house.
Mm-hmm. You're going to have to move out.
One thing. Let me push back on one thing. And just correct me if I'm wrong, Theus, okay? Really. But the only thing I'm thinking is people who are doing individual thinking in a process when they're in the system. But you're thinking, or how it came off to me is you're thinking they're being good actors. So what's good for me with my money, somebody could be using their money that could be terrible. Be honest with you.
Ooh,
So
you just
so it's like the HOA thing. So let me break it down a little more because I don't want to lose people, and I'm not in my right mind anyway, so I may just be blabbering like an idiot in a way.
I'm trying to follow.
It's sort of like what you were saying about the HOA. There may be HOAs who flat out just like, look, just keep your yard clean. You know, don't have no abandoned cars in your yard. Just tidy up. Then you have some housewives who ain't got nothing to do with the rest of their life, going around with a ruler in their hand, measuring grass to see how tall it is and everything else. That has nothing to do, and this is my point. That has nothing to do with house value. That has everything to do with power, and they have
it does
to make your life so freaking miserable.
It has to do
that.
No, but here's how we bring all this together. And we're using HOA, but like in the back of your mind, think of this as the government discussion.
Yeah,
this is why we
government.
Yeah, this is why we have such terrible representation, because the HOA in and of itself is not a bad thing. The HOA in and of itself is so that we spread the cost of maintaining the community pool, or we spread the cost of maintaining that signage when you come into the subdivision. We spread the cost of keeping the common areas mowed and taken care of. And only an HOA can do that, right? Because we come together, we determine what this cost is, and we're going to spread the expense across all of us because we all care about our community.
Right.
HOAs are not bad for that. Just like corporations aren't bad. It's the people, right? So then we look at, okay, well, you have one version of HOA, like Marlon pointed out, which is excellent, where, hey, this is the feeling of our community. No, if you got a driveway, all your cars need to fit on the driveway, no parking on the street. If you have a vehicle that's not operable, it needs to be inside your garage or somewhere else. It can't be, on the property. Keep your grass cut. Have a good day. Thank you so much for being my neighbor. And you keep pushing, right? That's a good HOA, right? But then we say, well, then you get the crazy people who ain't got nothing to do with their lives. So they want to flex. And they come over to your house and say, well, your house, the grass is 2 inches high and we have a covenant here that's only supposed to be 1 inch high. Or you got bare spots in your lawn and you need to get that rectified within a month, or else we're going to, cite you or something like that, right? But how do we end up with that person? The way we end up with that person being in charge is because the people who are more rational don't want to take the time to be in the HOA. Right. They don't go to the HOA meetings. They don't decide that they want to be the HOA head. Right? The one who's going to be reasonable is busy doing other things with their life, and they don't want to be bothered. But that person who's got a chip on their shoulder, they got all the time in the world to go out there and become the HOA president and impose their theology onto the rest of you. That's how we got the House of Representatives the way it acts. That's how we got senators the way that they act. Because the people who are more rational are looking at this monstrosity and saying, I don't want to be a part of that. What I look like going in there and being one of 100 senators and 75 of my senators are crazy. I'm not going in there.
Just
right?
75?
Hey, I'm giving it some room because everybody in Congress is not bad.
Yeah.
Right.
We literally had a Republican come on the air and flat out told his Republicans, give me something.
One thing
to run on. Give me.
But you gotta be careful with that too.
He was policy. I think he was saying.
Yes, give me policy.
Because what you got to pay attention to is he was saying the stuff that we like, right? Because we all like, yo, you're right. They're in here and they're not passing nothing. But we've known that for 30 years. Republicans go in and their job is to not pass things. That's their job, right? But he's saying, what have we passed? What can I go back to my district and say that we've actually done? And people are like, amen, brother. That's hey, I'm
And what
with you.
bill did he
Yeah.
propose?
Thank you. That's the
I
thing.
mean, you did. You
What
could've-
law does he want?
Like, did you write
passed?
something? Like, was you writing something?
Not a
Was like
point.
change something? Yeah,
No,
but
I mean, because he's saying, give me something that we've done.
Wait a
But the
minute.
thing is, for the rest of us, the things that he would have done, we would hate.
Wait a minute.
So-
Hold on, y'all. I didn't agree with this twice. Oh no! Wait a minute.
It's all right. You coming along. You coming along. Welcome to the team. You know, I'm always here for everybody.
It's the end of the year.
Yeah, that's it. That's the excuse right there. That'll be
I'll send
it.
out the sign up sheet later. Y'all can join us. Y'all can join.
Yeah, it's like, yeah,
secretly.
you
It's
said
okay.
that, but dude, are you writing any laws to change anything, or are you just gonna be up here making grandiose speeches?
He's gonna make these grandiose speeches, but if he had the ability to write a law, he'll be like that weird dude that they just put in charge of the house, and then he'll be like, "Oh yeah, I can pass a law. Women can't wear high heel shoes no more. Period. None." There's a law, and then they pass it, and then that same guy who just gave that speech will be like, "Well, look what we've done. We have saved women's arches all across the nation. No longer are they held hostage to male objectification of their calves and
First of
ankles."
all,
That's a
Republicans don't even know what objectification means, so you giving them way too much credit.
All right, everybody, we're gonna shut it down real quick. Apparently, I am gonna take up the whole second hour while my internet works. Okay, let me say this real quick before we go into the second hour. We got a full thing here. We got a Am I the A-hole? We got a Real or Nah. We got a Mafia video of the week. And of course, Foxy video of the week. Now, with that said, and again, it could be my brain, but I thought about it all week long. I have made an executive decision within the second hour that I said I wasn't going to make, but I have the power and the ability to change my mind, and I did. So there's your little cliffhanger. 3-minute break to reboot and refresh, and we'll see everybody on the other side. Stay tuned.
Sound mighty 45ish over there.
You'll get over it.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna be a lost girl and fly. Take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I wanna be free, I always stay dreaming, never imagined I lose my spark. Living in this crazy time, putting back the pieces of my mind. I know how to run from the dark and fly. Feel my wings spread, levitate into the clouds. I'm so high above the ground. I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free.
We are back, and without further ado, let's go ahead and pay those bills. Please do not forget to go to buymeacoffee.com/Tracy and Media LLC. Help support Tracy and all of her endeavors. Please do not forget to go to BorelliaEtc.com. That's Anna Hart's website. Learn something that you didn't think you need to know, but you should. And if you need to reach me, you could do so at radtp@outlook.com. That's RADTP@outlook.com.
Nailed it.
You got it.
Just took the time on that one. Am I the a-hole? Okay, so look at a lot of videos lately of, and I'm just gonna be honest, some of the stupidest names that parents want to name their child. And fine, daddy, you want to name your child after a Disney character and things like that, whatever. They're gonna be, it's the second hour, they're gonna be fucked with, but still, you go, you do you. But this right here, this is totally different.
I'm a 35-year-old woman and my husband is a 37-year-old man. We're pregnant with our first child. We're overjoyed because we've struggled with perceived infertility and miscarriages for the last decade. We want the gender to be a surprise, but we may have to find out the gender early to settle this issue. I'm currently at the tail end of my second trimester. Now, my husband absolutely idolizes his grandpa, who unfortunately passed away last week. My husband is devastated, especially about the notion that his children will never meet their great-grandpa, who their father adored so much. As such, my husband suggested that we name the baby after Grandpa, Theodore if it's a boy or Theodora if it's a girl. Either way, we'd either call them Teddy if it's a boy or Theo/Thea if it's a girl. It's not that I mind the name. The issue is that our last name is The issue is that our last name is Bundy. I asked my husband, do you really see no issue in naming our kid Ted Bundy? You don't think that would raise any questions? He says, no, he's just honoring his grandpa. I told him he needs to think about how he will be perceived, how our child will be treated, and the implications that name inherently carries. I literally had to spell out why that would be a horrible idea, and he still thinks that I just hate his grandpa. I told him, no, his grandpa was named in 1930 when the name Ted Bundy wouldn't have been a problem. However, since certain events in the 70s and 80s happened, there's no feasible way we can give this name to our kid and not cause issues. He kept pushing and pushing until I blew up and told him to stop with this idiotic suggestion. And that's what it is. Idiotic at best, sociopathic at worst. He got extremely upset and told his parents and my parents, who are divided. His family is obviously on his side and wants to honor Grandpa by naming the baby after him. My parents are torn, but on my side, because they understand the social pariah we would make our child by giving them such a similar name to the person who did such abhorrent and downright evil things to so many women. I mean, personally, I don't think anyone is just going to assume that we're honoring a past loved one. They're just going to think of Ted Bundy. Am I the butthole?
Anybody else want to take this first?
Well,
I'm gonna say this so I can get mine out real quick. First of all, it's a crime to name your child Theodora. All right, stop that shit. All right, so that's one.
That's a beautiful name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is. Theodora, that is a beautiful name.
Name her Thea, name her Dora. Theodora, stop it. So that's that one. And then I just can't believe this is even real, but if it is, stop it, okay? And then the boy, then don't name him Theodore in honor of your grandfather. Name him Theo. right? Or what's grandpa's middle name, right? There's ways to make this thing work.
Yeah.
So that's really all I got. I thought this was gonna go a different way, but then I'm listening to the story and I'm just like, your family is split. All right, so you married an idiot, and he come from a family of semi-idiots. So
I have no
good
idea
luck.
who Ted Bundy was, I guess.
Yeah, good luck with your offspring, because I really hope you have a high IQ, because those kids are not starting out with the best chances with genetic intelligence.
And Parker, I know what you're saying, that they spell it differently,
Bundy.
but you got to remember he's going to be on the phone with somebody eventually, and they're going to ask, "What's your first name and what's your last
Theodore?
name?" They're going to shorten it.
Yeah, so long as he never goes by the name Ted, in a way, he's okay.
Yeah, if he just goes
Now,
by
people are
Theodore.
going to pick at him regardless, because they'll know that Teddy is what you call Theodore. Oh, Ted Bundy, right? But that will only be people who are like older than me, right?
Yeah.
Because
I mean,
I think Bundy's. I think Al Bundy.
But
That was my
that
the
was what
problem
I was gonna say. Now she said, "Name the kid Al." I've been like, "Yes, do it, do it. Name the child Al."
But that's what Parker said. The problem is the grandparents' middle name was Al.
Oh dear.
Boy, Parker, you know what? Okay, so I'm gonna say it. I think the mother is being an a-hole. Here is why. What child is gonna know who Ted Bundy is? Who? I mean, I barely remember him. And I'm old enough. I mean, you would have to be of a certain generation. I can't imagine kids make it. I mean, kids are going to make fun of your name regardless of what it is. But I can't imagine children of today. Oh, you're named after a. They're not going to know who Ted Bundy is. They're just not.
Okay. Here's the problem. One, they're not going to be children for the rest of their life. They are going to grow up and his name is going to come across. Two, even if the kids don't know about it, the parents do. And if that name come across, they're going to say, "I'm sorry, your friend name is what?" Let me tell
I
you
think it's a little different.
No, because you'll be
I
like,
think the only parents that this is going to come up with is the kid's own parents. Like, this will be a story within their family that this kid is going to be tormented by. No, I mean, but the kid's going to be tormented, though, because his family will make sure that they all know the inside joke that's going on with this poor kid. But as far as outside, like you said, Tracy, the name has no real sting to it anymore.
yeah.
Right? It's not like you trying to name your child Adolf, right?
Yeah. Now that
Ted
would be
Bundy,
like,
they'll just be like, somebody be like, that sounds familiar. Yeah.
But did we hear a story recently, or maybe I need to go find that story, of the dude's last name was Doe, and their parents wanted to name him John?
I don't remember the story, but I mean, I've heard of people doing stuff like that.
So, well, that's
I'm like, don't make your kid a pun. That's
really
that's where I would say.
If you're female and your name is Lois, and you marry a man whose last name is Lane, you know you don't have to take his last name. You can go with other. There's
what's wrong with Lois Lane?
Why wouldn't you?
The same thing if your last name was Kent and you name your child Clark.
Clark. You not gonna do that.
You know.
Ain't no way if your last name Clark, I mean Kent, you gonna be like, I'm gonna name this child Clark. No, you won't.
You know that's messed up. But anyway, there's a second part to this story, so let's get into it.
Essentially, my husband stayed with his brother and sister-in-law for a night and they talked it out. His brother was also very close with their grandpa, so I think hearing the same logic from someone grieving just as much knocked some sense into him. They explained why he couldn't just name his kid Ted Bundy. And especially because we live in the western US, in one of the states where Ted Bundy operated and was also caught, imprisoned, and escaped. I don't even think it's legal to use that name. We spoke briefly on the phone before he came home, where I apologized how rude I was when he kept suggesting the name. I explained that I was just stressed that he was seemingly overlooking just how bad it would be to have a kid with the same name as a very notorious serial killer, and that I didn't feel listened to. He apologized as well, telling me that his grief was clouding his judgment and that he also understands why we can't give our child Grandpa's name. While we did want to keep the gender a surprise, we felt like we had to look at the ultrasound to help hash this out. We're having a baby boy, and we decided to give him Grandpa's middle name, Silas. Our son will have the name Silas Bundy. So, all in all, I guess this worked out.
Now that's a nice name, Silas.
I don't know. Silas, wasn't that the bad guy in Danger Mouse?
I was gonna say Silas was the guy in the Bible, but that's just me.
Baron Silas Greenback.
I only know one Silas, and that was from the old TV show Heroes.
It's a
it's not a terrible
name. It's a rarely used name. It means something. That's a good name. The middle name, that's good.
So
they had to have this big of a fight to land on the middle name, though.
And I'm still wondering, again, where these people be staying at when they argue with their spouses. Another person that goes to spend time with them. Why is y'all leaving y'all house?
At least you went to a sibling.
Yeah, but still.
It's still. I'm with Tracy here.
This is just bothering
every
me.
Time. Every time.
I hear you.
Stay there and work it out. Stop going to your sibling's house, your mama's house, your friend's house. Stop it. Don't do that no more. No more stories, Marlon, where they go to stay at somebody's house, because it's really getting on my nerves.
Well, now Marlon won't have no story.
That's that, right?
I would stay at my brother-in-law.
Just let them come in every time.
Just let them come on in. Yeah, here's a bedroom. You can sleep in it. Help yourself to the hot chocolate and the charcuterie board there.
I just don't like the stories, and I know this is what makes me honestly think all these doggone stories is fake as crap. But I'm trying to keep an open mind going into the new year. But if you do it, please stop doing it. I hate the ones where they go, well, we talk to the family. Obviously, they're on their side, they're on her side, and my family is on my side. But my sister said blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, you know what? You can't fix the problem in your marriage going outside your marriage.
Thank you. Oh my gosh.
You need to deal with this without always running to mommy and daddy and sister or brother who you know. And 99.99% of the time, you know they're going to take your side because you family. That's somebody who just married in.
I'm still tripping off of how are so many of these families, you have a healthy structure where everybody comes together for a family town hall to figure out what color your shoes should be. But you yourselves are so dysfunctional that you got to run to your best friend's house because your wife said something you didn't like. How does that exist in the same dynamic?
No,
I don't.
What else annoys me when people take their problems to social media? You done got all invested. They break up. You done took a side. Then they get back together.
Well, careful, Tracy. You get in trouble. I said something about why people go and put their business on Reddit, and I got read for filth. Because, people don't like being interrupted with what they want to go see.
People done took sides. I take sides. I shouldn't.
Oh, I don't. I try to ignore it.
I shouldn't, but I do. I'm not.
No, hey. I don't take sides with people on the internet. I'll take sides with my friend.
And then they get back together. It's like
you never take sides. If your friend come to you and say there's an issue going on, you just nod your head and Oh, that's the crazy thing, because what's going to happen is that's the same friend that you go and blast them and cuss them out the same way, using the same energy as your friend is doing on that significant other.
Did we back together?
And they're back together, and guess what happens? Now I
don't like him.
Sideways because you should have said that about my significant other.
You the one said it first.
Dude.
It'll be even worse than that, Mom. Here's how it goes down.
Ooh,
all right.
Get on my nerves.
Billy got a problem with his wife. Billy goes to Paul, and Billy and Paul are trying to work through Billy's problem. Paul takes sides you know, hey man, yeah, I don't know why she act like that, blah blah blah. She always been a little blue, blah blah, whatever, all that. It ain't gonna be Billy and Paul that are gonna have the direct problem. It's gonna be the wife. Because see, once these two people reconcile, because see, they have a relationship that they are tied into. Once they reconcile, guess who's gonna come up in their conversations?
Paul, every time, every time. It's like,
He said you were crazy, and I told him, no, she's just going through something. Oh, he said what?
And if you got the right, and if you got the right one, not the wrong one, and if you got the right one, yeah, they have every right to look at you and go, why are you spreading out business out in the street? But
You coming over to the house for the kid's birthday party, and she like,
yeah, because what you do, and again, I shouldn't take sides. I know I shouldn't, but I end up, I'm just like, well, shoot, he's terrible. And he's awful, and you should ditch him. Then 3 months later, they get back. Well, I still don't like him because I'm remembering what you told me about him. So now
you only give me the bad stuff.
Yeah, and they never give their side about how they were a part of the problem.
Of course not.
That's why you don't take the stuff to your mama. Because see, mama gonna protect her baby, right? So unless she know her baby ain't about nothing, mama gonna take her baby side. So all she's hearing is all the terrible things. You're not giving her the good stuff. And then you guys reconcile because the good stuff was bigger than the bad stuff. Well, mama already looking at this person like,
nah, she trash.
and that look is all the way until they break up or get married or I don't even care no more.
Till somebody die.
If your problems are that deep, go to a marriage counselor. At least they take an oath that they can't broadcast your problems all over the internet. Oh my gosh.
Depends on which one of them marriage counselors you go to.
Yeah.
You know?
And by the way, everyone who's listening, since Tracy always
I'm talking about like them unlicensed marriage counselors. Tracy. I'm talking about like Deacon Pettigrew.
No, I didn't say go down to the church and do that. No, you go to somebody with an actual license and their certificate or their diploma is hanging up on the wall.
On the wall, yes. I need to read the certificate because I don't want.
And you better go to a college that I know or university that I know.
University of North Alabama.
Hey, Deacon Pettigrew give out good advice.
No, you're not telling me.
Most of the time.
And all this
water is
where
just
this school at? What?
Hey, all good learning doesn't come from a book.
Does that say online? Whoa, hold up, man. I'm not gonna tell you nothing.
Thank you. And water and gossip are exactly alike. They both spread.
I was going to try to come up with some kind of one night stand reference, but I decided not to. Because oftentimes
I'm not going into my Thanksgiving on this crap.
Thank you.
Nope. Oh, by the way, Theus, we already have a one night stand joke.
How you gonna tell me water and gossip aren't the same?
It was just too corny.
It's not corny. They both spread. Tell me they don't. Tell me they don't.
I had another joke. Real or nah? Okay. Obligatory. This may be real, but it's so cringy that I hope it's fake. I'm going to leave it up to y'all because one of them things is like, yeah, I'm just going to leave it at that. It's just so cringy that please let it be fake because nobody is this stupid. And then y'all say, yeah, it's real. And then I wind up, it is that many stupid people out there. Please come help with the kids.
My wife, Lisa, and I, both 30s, have 3 kids under 5. I work full-time while Lisa is a stay-at-home mom with an Etsy shop where she makes and sells jewelry as our supplemental income. A while back, I received a nice bonus, and after a bit of discussion, it was decided I'd use my bonus for myself. I managed to stay within budget, but I booked myself a 2-week vacation to Hawaii. Of course, this meant Lisa had the kids at home full-time while I was gone. When I returned, Lisa was exhausted, and I initially agreed to take the kids for the afternoon on Saturday so she could have some time to herself and unwind. My cousin ended up inviting us to a barbecue the same day, and my cousin is one of my best friends, and I knew other childhood friends would be there. Lisa wasn't sure about going, but I told her everyone would be happy to see her and the kids, plus I'd watch them so she could relax and have a drink or two. The day of the barbecue, the kids were out of control, crying, screaming, fighting, not listening or following directions. It was impossible to have a conversation or catch up with my cousin or friends. I repeatedly walked over to Lisa to ask her to give me a hand with the kids. Each time she declined and said I agreed to watch them, and this is her downtime. After another hour of chaos, I ended up yelling across the yard, "For once, can you please get off of your effing ass and help me with our kids?" Like once is all I'm asking for. Lisa stomped over to me and started whisper yelling that I was breaking my promise to let her have time to relax. She didn't want to be here and feels like I basically made her go. She's basically right, man. I tried explaining that these are people I don't see very often and to please not make a scene. Unfortunately, a few people overheard us and we caught a few comments about Lisa being a lazy mom who only wanted to pawn off the kids on me / she's taking advantage of me. Lisa burst into tears and yelled at the people standing nearby that made the comments for them to all go to hell. Told me basically to go myself, took the car and left. She returned a few hours later to pick me up and the kids. We didn't speak to each other on the drive home. Later that night, I tried talking to her that the kids were having a rough day and I just needed her help for a bit so I could finish a few conversations and I would have taken them right back. Lisa objected that wasn't fair and she had the kids all alone for 2 weeks while I was in Hawaii. She also said that's not what upset her the most. It was how I phrased what I said and how I let people insult her and didn't immediately jump to her defense. I told Lisa those people don't know her like I do and have no idea how hard she works to take care of the kids, our house, and run her Etsy shop, nor did I have time to react before she ended up leaving. Am I the asshole?
Yeah, you the asshole,
Yeah,
dog.
dude. This is real or not, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with nah.
This is real. This is absolutely positively real.
He went on a 2-week vacation to Hawaii by his damn self. I'm gonna go with nah.
Spouses go on separate vacations all the time.
Not no damn 2-week vacation.
Mm-hmm.
This is a dysfunctional ass relationship if that's the case. This is, come on now. What is
Spouses
this?
take separate vacations all the time.
Tracy,
I run in a circle of a whole lot of spouses, and I ain't not nan. I mean, there's guys trips, there's girls trips. I get those. There's business trips. I get those. I have yet, in all my years of adultdom, ran across somebody that their spouse disappeared for 2 weeks on vacation.
No, let's go. Let's go.
That's wild to me. That's wild.
Hold on, Anna. Let me say this real quick. There is no way in hell that my bonus, and I work for it. I got it. It's my bonus. It's from my job that I work for. I get that. Ain't no way in hell my bonus is enough money for only me going to Hawaii, a place that Foxy ain't never been and I ain't never been. Man, you know the chaos that's coming back.
2 weeks, dog.
Hold on, this. Go ahead, Anna.
I've seen this. It was job related twice. Basically, their bonus was time in wasn't Hawaii. Somewhere, but basically, it's rare. It's really rare. I'm not saying this is seen all the time. I'm just saying I've seen it twice.
But you also said it was job related.
Yeah. This was a vacation he took.
I want to stick to my original answer. Couples always, the ones I know, always take separate vacations. Always,
It
always.
was like it was a bonus of doing a job well, and here you go. You get X amount of time in the paradise island. I tried to find out what kind of job that was.
Yeah, because I need that kind of
Yeah,
job.
'cause I need that job right
Yeah,
there.
That's usually a sales type job because when I was in sales, especially in insurance sales, you compete and you're based on your production. You can end up with like a company resort house in Trinidad and Tobago, wherever it is, and you get company pays all expenses for you to be there. But you
Yeah.
know what they also do?
What?
You take your spouse
Right.
every single time. Even if they didn't pay for your spouse, you could take your spouse every single time. So, and then even then, you ain't gonna be gone for 2 weeks. So that's the part that
2 weeks is
still
not
messing me up.
2 weeks is
2
not a
weeks
long
is a big.
vacation.
If you're married and your spouse disappears for 2 weeks, non-work related, that's a long ass time. And then the other part about it is okay, he goes to work and the way he described her thing was like, well, she takes care of the kids and runs the Etsy shop and takes care of the house. You just named a whole lot of stuff this woman's doing.
Yeah.
And
Well, taking care of the kids is enough.
Well, I mean, that's her job and his job. So to me, nobody gets a cherry on top for that. But she's running a store that you admitted helps supplement your income. So you can't sit here and act like it's a hobby. She's doing something that brings real income into the house. So you get a bonus. All right, cool, because you managed to get the job that gives a bonus. All right, wonderful. And then somehow y'all come to an agreement that she's letting you keep it all.
By the way, they did not come to an. I'm sorry to cut you off, Diaz.
Well, they might because you don't know what the agreement is with her money. You don't know the agreement with her money.
She could be like, we pay all the bills with your money, and mine is just there, just in case.
Right, because the Etsy money might be money that she keeps 90% of it, and the other 10% goes towards the household. We don't know.
Yeah, trust me, them Etsy stores ain't making that. If she making that much, I want to know what she doing. Tell me, please, because I got an Etsy store. It ain't.
But
like
what
that.
blows my mind is the 2 week part. That's a really big thing. That's a big deal. 2 weeks, not work related. You just out. Okay. And Hawaii ain't cheap. Expensive place to go. All right. But so we are already dealing with somebody in a different kind of financial weight class, is what it sounds like. But you made an agreement with your wife. She let you go do this thing, however y'all got there, whatever. But then you come back and basically you want another trip. You want to go hang out with your friend.
Cousin.
After you made the agreement to be a dad and take care of your own kids. You ain't watching your kids. You were taking care of your kids.
But thing is, let me jump in real quick. But here's the funny thing about what he said, which pissed me off. I'm sick, dude. That's the only reason why I'm not yelling at the top of my lungs right now. So
he says, please don't make a scene, and yet he's the one who yelled across the damn lawn.
Get off
Can
your
you get your
fucking
fucking
ass
ass?
and take care of your kids. But here's the deal, Anna, it wasn't even equal. You took 2 weeks off to go to Hawaii. You come back and go, hey, you know what? You worked really hard with the kids for those whole 2 weeks I was gone. Let me give you the afternoon.
The afternoon. You done had 2 weeks and you gonna give her an afternoon. Thank you.
Dude, you gonna get cussed out on a day. But you ain't even give a day. You gave a period of time during the day. And you right,
took it back.
I'm so sick and tired. There's two things I'm so sick and tired of parents doing. One, and I had to babysit the kids. Fool, you're not babysitting the kids.
That's your child, idiot.
That's your kids. Two, all the money that I bring into my house. Oh, I'm sorry, your job? That's your job. You supposed to. You don't get to hold that over your kids' head. The the food in your stomach, the clothes on your back. Oh, I'm sorry, your job? Because that's what your job is. They didn't ask to be here, which you don't have an argument about because it's true. They did not ask to be here.
I think the part that makes me the maddest or the angriest is he let all of those people insult her. That
was not right
he didn't even
I missed that part, but
he just was like, yep. I don't blame
All
her.
of the
I'd have got them
family
kids and
turned
he could have
on
walked home.
her.
He could have
Saying that
walked
They
home.
she's
did try to
horrible.
gaslight her, but they tried to gaslight her.
He didn't say
But
anything.
they don't understand how hard you work. They
Yeah.
don't understand. Hell, I wonder why. Because you didn't tell them?
You don't. I mean, I'm not married. Don't probably never gonna have it. But you're not gonna be just talking about my man like that. No, you're not. I get to do that. Me, not you. Me. And trust me, I'm not gonna bring it to you. You'll never know the complaints I have. Trust and believe. He did nothing. He sat there and did nothing. No
Really
thing did he
selfish
do.
people
If
out
it was
there.
me, I'd have grabbed them kids and his butt would have been taken. He got an Uber or he'd have been walking. Because nope.
well, stay with your cousins. You like them so much.
Yeah,
Hey,
right.
do what all the rest
Go
of them do.
ahead.
Stay with a family friend. Because
Yeah, because you can always stay with a family friend or a friend or anything when you have a fight because that
They're not your
But
friend. Dude,
Nah,
if they
but
let
call
you
that
come
woman.
into their couch, they are not your friend. A friend would
Call
tell
that woman if you spent 2 weeks with in Hawaii.
around.
Now, you don't know that he spent time with another one. Well, okay.
You're right. Could have been another man.
Oh, Jesus, just went.
That wasn't even insinuated. Where did you jump off to that from?
Why is that a ridiculous thing to say?
You
Because you're
disappeared for 2
assuming.
weeks to Hawaii. You
You're
think you
just
riding solo? You really think
assuming.
you riding solo?
I have like this. Who did he see? Who did he go see in Hawaii? I really wonder.
I would be wondering, like, you went 2 weeks by yourself, but that's just me. But
People don't go to Waffle House by themselves if they ain't
Yes,
never
they do.
been there. If they've never been there.
Mm-hmm.
So you talking about flying to Hawaii by your lonesome for 2 weeks, man.
But okay,
y'all
I don't
put
want
here and put
everybody to
affairs in
concentrate
here.
on
He didn't say
Hawaii.
nothing
Y'all
about cheating.
concentrating on Hawaii.
Well, he's
and
very
Hawaii,
selfish,
y'all
so cheating
concentrating
wouldn't
on
be a
Hawaii.
stretch.
You ain't going 2 weeks to Vegas.
Thank
How
you.
did y'all jump with adultery? Like, where did it just went? He went with
If you're
adultery.
that
He's cheating.
Tracy,
He's got
if
to
your
cheat.
spouse is that selfish and is that emotionally cut
This
off,
is sad that y'all would just
cheating
jump
is
off.
not a far leap.
That
It is a very
sad.
close step.
This is sad. Sad.
You the
sad.
main one be talking about he trying to sleep with somebody, but now
Thank
This
you, Mama
is
Hall.
unfortunately very human.
But you're in Hawaii. Now we could go with the expensive and everything else. Hawaii is one of the most beautiful
He ain't got time to cheat.
destinations
He
on
broke
earth.
because he had to pay all that money to get there.
Okay, and what?
yeah, he ain't got time to cheat. He just got a hotel room and for 2 weeks and can't nobody
I just
validate
don't
what's
know
happening.
where y'all just jump right. Yeah, you just said nah. Y'all
Okay,
did. Y'all done pulled to me. Y'all done pulled to me.
Tracy, I'll answer your question. Simply like this. The octave.
It
of
doesn't look
what
right.
you
I agree with
did
that.
Made it look like you had the possibility to cheat.
That was a
You may not have
clandestine
done
meeting.
anything, but you gave the octave of I was going to a tropical island
State.
alone and
Decompressing.
for 2 weeks, and which is more realistic that you just went to a whole bunch of shows and watched TV and ate poo-poo, or you got into some
Poo-poo platter.
Poo-poo platter.
Mm-hmm.
Or
I have never heard of a poo-poo platter.
It's an island dish. I think it's like rice and fish and
It's a
stuff.
big.
or
Yeah.
you went over there and you got into some Barry White things.
Barry
Now,
White.
he was in the Secret Garden, all right. That's some Quincy Jones right there.
Y'all be talking about me assuming things. Y'all done pulled one of me.
But that's what I'm saying.
I am assuming
that's
here.
why I said octave.
Right.
It's not
Yeah.
if you don't want that octave, you won't have that assumption.
Theus' rules to relationships. Don't create questions where questions don't exist.
Right.
But like realistically, not to take the husband's side because he's a jerk, but realistically, could he afford to take his wife and his kids to Hawaii? Probably not.
Yeah, it's called Go for a Week. Look at all that money you just saved.
Right.
I mean, I can see going to Texas or Florida or Georgia or.
Yeah,
but that's what you do in a relationship, though. Like, I can afford to take myself anywhere, but I got people, right? I created people. I got people. It ain't about me. I can't disappear for 2 weeks and then come back and be like, hey, let's go. I'll give you the afternoon off, but you got to come with me so I can watch you have this afternoon off. Like, you can't just have the afternoon off.
Right.
You got to be with me.
And let me just add this.
I would have said, have a nice time
at your cousins and take these kids with you.
One last thing for it, then we'll move on. I would not, me as a husband and kids, I wouldn't even want to go to Hawaii by myself. I want my wife and kids with me.
I'm gonna want to go to Hawaii by myself. I'm gonna be wanting to go by myself.
I don't want to go by myself.
I love a guy's trip, man. I think you need to have guys trip and you need to have girls trip. You need opportunity
Wait a minute,
to be who you are.
Let me stop this. Men vacation together?
Yeah.
I promise I ain't never heard of this.
It's rare, but it's usually people in a certain financial class. Because broke men don't go nowhere because we're too busy working. But
yeah, Uncle Sam.
That's over somebody's house.
But it's important. I think it's important. Like, even if you can't get up and travel and go to Vegas or something like that, then you go to your friend's house or y'all go to a restaurant. That's one of the things. Stay tuned. You'll hear more about it in the future. But that's one of the things. You get the guys together and you go somewhere so that for however many hours or for that weekend, Theus is just Theus. I'm not Mr. Robinson. I'm not Dad. I'm none of that. I'm just Theus. For just a moment, I can remember who it was to be an individual. Now, I think that, but if I'm going to have that, then my wife needs to have that same freedom if she wants it. See what I'm saying? And I can't turn around and encroach upon her because it's inconvenient for me when it's her turn.
I'm going to give you an hour. I'm gonna be so generous. Look at me, all this generosity I'm giving you.
Let me rephrase something that I'm saying because
as long as I can watch you, Tracy, you got to be where I can see you.
Yeah, because I can't go nowhere out of your eyesight because I got that dog leash might get me might choke me if I try to go too far.
Maybe let me say this: I would not want to go to Hawaii, a destination like that by myself. What Theus is talking about is, hey, me and the guys are going to watch a college football. Our favorite.
Me and the guys are going to Hawaii. Hell.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's talking about like a vacation, like a stay, like a guy's trip.
No.
Like what I wanted to do for my birthday.
You've never.
I'm just saying, everybody different. Everybody different. So this isn't prescriptive. But I'm saying there are some guys who cannot see themselves without their partner with them at all times. That's fine. That's a beautiful thing that some guys have that's just them. Happy for them. But at the same time, there's other guys who are like, I just need a moment where I ain't got to kill nothing. I ain't got to buy nothing. I ain't got to fix nothing. And that's fine too.
A nice 3-day weekend, but
2 weeks.
I can't vacation with groups of people. I can't do it. Just send me by myself. I'll be happy. Thank you very much because I can do whatever I want to do.
Oh God, Parker.
You can always.
I feel you. Parker said at least it wasn't like a whole year with that one woman who went to tour the world. Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah, that was different. That was different.
The 7 years.
She was gone 7. Like she didn't want to come back.
Yeah.
But 2 weeks though, that's a trial separation. We trying to figure out if we gonna still be together.
Because he didn't go to his friend's house.
About?
He went to Hawaii. He didn't go to a friend's house.
Thing is, after a year, that's divorce. There ain't no
No, I'm
trial.
not talking about the lady who disappeared. I'm not talking about her. I'm still on the 2 week thing. The 2 week thing is just
Oh,
bothered my
that's
spirit. It
I mean, it's bothering some, but I'm just wondering when y'all jump to he's cheating. I'm like, huh?
Okay, sis.
Tracy, you have jumped to somebody's cheating and they just did something
Yes,
for
but
like a
that's me
day.
doing it. That's me
Well,
doing it.
you're a good teacher.
Go
I'm like, he didn't say nothing about you. He didn't say nothing about you. Oh, well, gee, he's cheating.
Man.
What did you have, Anna?
No,
Never
it's
mind.
gone.
2 weeks. That's a whole pay cycle. Just gone.
Oh,
Mafia video of the week. Oh, you got it now?
I actually did get it back. I believe, if I'm recalling correctly, the trip that my friend acquaintance was sent on was about 4 days.
Okay, that's
You know,
good.
like,
But what if he went to Hawaii?
does that make it realistic for you?
That's a little more
4
realistic.
days is still it is. I mean, that's a trip. So, but I would be like, my concern. All right. So, and this is where I guess I stand alone. I know I stand alone a lot with you guys, but it's you're doing it solo, right? So to me, you create questions when you are gone for an extended period of time and nobody can account for anything that you're doing. So it's like if you were saying you were going with your best friend, yeah, you and your best friend could still get into some trouble, running the streets and doing, stuff trying to relive your glory days.
Right.
But there's still a second person. You rolling out there just solo, people don't like to go out to eat solo. People don't like to do much of anything solo. You went to a whole nother state
Across the
solo.
ocean, across the Pacific.
If you ain't go to meet somebody, you went to meet somebody.
Thank you, Tracy. You are a good teacher.
I think it's
Y'all gonna leave me alone one of these
having
days.
the money.
Y'all gonna stop picking at me and stop messing with me.
Well, the money isn't a big deal because 4 days, if you put together $1,000, you can have an amazing vacation in a lot of different places for a week.
Where?
You can go to Dominican Republic, you can go to Jamaica, you put $1,000 for one person, you can have a good time.
The airfare by itself is $700.
Or you could sit your ass down somewhere and not figure that your boat is the first thing you want to do is go on vacation.
Now that's a good point.
No, I fully agree.
So yeah, it ain't like
you could get some behavioral classes for them free range children you got running around out there.
Now wait a minute.
I
want everybody to know it was not me that called them kids bad. It was Theus.
No,
thank you.
Yeah, I'm calling them bad. If the dad can't control his kids, when the father can't control his kids, them some bad kids, and it's a bad father because there's no reason why you
don't hang with his kids.
He's not around them enough.
I understand.
He
was only gone for 2 weeks.
Afternoon.
Now, see, I just want everybody to know it was not me. I did not say the children were bad. It was things.
The people in the story basically said the children were bad. He could not control his own kids, and he went and cursed out his wife because he couldn't control his own kids. Them some bad kids.
You keep saying that as if he was doing the best he can. That dude could have got as far as stand beside me and don't move. And they moved and oh my God, you're a terrible child. No.
He said they were running around and making.
That's very true. But get this though. All right. Now I know I'm an amazing dad. But I could tell my kids.
How do we not know that?
You can sit right here. You right here. And they could be mad. Ooh, they'd be so mad. They're gonna stay right there. Guarantee it. So this dude has no control over his kids to the point that however, and they're among family. Like when your kids were among friends, why aren't you letting them run free anyway? They with their family. right? So you turn around, the kids are so bad, even among family, that you cursed your wife out.
Yeah.
I'm just
That's a
saying it
bad
wasn't
kid.
me that said that the children were bad. That's all I'm saying. It
Oh,
was not
actually, you know
me.
what? I took your word because before this, I wasn't calling them bad. I was saying they were free range children. So that's a little different.
But then you
But
eventually
what,
called
That
them
what, what,
bad.
what
that's
LL was saying, or the dad doesn't spend enough time with the kids for
There
them
you
to
go,
really
right there.
figure
There
out
it is, right there.
yeah.
He doesn't spend enough time with
that's
the
my point.
children. They would have
Mommy
probably
wasn't
listened to their
correcting
mother.
him.
They're not
Yeah, they
badass
don't respect his authority.
saying if I give you to this stranger to watch you and you act bad, that automatically makes you badass kids. No, it makes them, I don't know who the hell you are, so I'm gonna roll free and everything else. Where
That's
compared to
still a
my
bad kid.
mama, who I know there's gonna be some consequences
That's,
being with my
that's still some
mama.
bad behavior, dog.
Yeah.
Because
Because
if
you
your
should be
children
teaching
can't,
your children
if
how
your
to behave
children,
outside of you.
yeah, your children should be able to behave even if you're not constantly
There.
standing over them. And
Okay,
then they should be able to yield to
here's
authority and
the thing.
operate in a certain capacity.
Who said who? I'm not saying things. I'm taking you out of the equation when I say this next thing. Who was the person that said and they was all over the place and acting bad?
The father.
That was a
The father.
dad that said that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So take it. Look, dude, you took a 2-week vacation to Hawaii. I'm pretty much sure I'm not going to listen to your definition of what's out of control.
But they
He's
had
still the father.
he still should,
At
but he's
this,
not.
at this point, biologically,
So 2 weeks makes him no longer an effective father?
yeah.
I
You
don't
went
know
to
No.
what
Hawaii.
What
No,
makes
no,
him a
you're
father
bad
not
he's
couple.
father?
dealing
No.
with.
We
Marlon,
talking
that's a
about
weird leap. But what makes him a bad father from the story to me is one, you don't have any control over your children. That means that they have
Yeah.
not been taught to respect your authority.
Yeah.
Two, you had to immediately launch to I can't even go somewhere with because this is the undercurrent of this whole story. I can't even go anywhere with my children if my wife isn't with me because she's the only one they can control that can control it. So that
You
right,
you
that's
you
him
forgot
being
the
a
third thing. You
what's
forgot
up?
the third thing. He doesn't respect his wife at all.
Agreed. So that's another thing. So
Yes.
all of that comes to him being a bad spouse and an ineffective father. I'm with you. What does not factor into it is the 2 week vacation because it if 2 weeks is all it took to break your bond with your children,
He wasn't no daddy in the first place.
you
He was
weren't no
just
Yeah,
good dad anyway.
he
I
was a
don't think
sperm
we
donor.
ever
That ain't no dad.
listened to him
okay.
from the sound of
If
this.
you got enough money to go to Hawaii for 2 weeks by yourself, and your children is not involved in that decision, go fuck yourself. I'm sorry. There's something
Why do that when you can go to Hawaii and do that with a new person?
there is something really, really wrong with why I do not. You're not. I'm moving on.
Please do, cause boy,
Go with your wife.
Mafia video of the week. All right, here's my night, as Thea's so eloquently put it. Here's my 1940s authoritarian decision making decision. Because of the spirit of the holiday. So remember, it's the spirit of the holiday.
Mariah Carey, y'all.
Not a chance in hell. Ain't that damn much spirit. Because of the spirit of the holiday. And because I want everybody to go into Thanksgiving and Christmas. Mafia video of the week comes from none other than Tracy.
oh
Tracy is off the band. And you just made Anna deaf. There you go.
sorry, Anna, but I'm like I didn't expect it. Thank you. My videos
Yeah.
can come back. Thank you.
At the red
Red
house.
house
No.
where black people and white people buy furniture.
But I'm
And
gonna
other
wait
people
for
too.
Anna to put her headset in because I need her to hear this.
Sorry.
Well, one thing for sure, Anna, if you have any wax in your ears, it's clean now.
Yep, that's what I'm good for.
So Tracy, and she don't even know what the video is because she sent a snippet of it. I, of course, went and found the full video of it. So here we go. Selling is service, and service is
Oh no.
Selling is service.
And service is selling.
Service is selling.
And selling is service.
I'm selling to the customers to make them feel all right.
I'm buying all these products with oh so much delight.
I can help you find anything you could possibly want.
Such ostentatious goodies that I can flaunt.
Selling is service.
And service is selling.
Service is selling.
And selling is service.
Hello there, Nikki. How you doing today?
I'm in a good mood and it's here to stay.
I've got a customer here that wants an Ulu to buy.
I'll send one right over. I've got plenty in supply.
Hello there, sir. I got some news for you. Your product is coming. It'll be here by 2.
Service is sell. Selling is service.
Selling is service.
Service is selling.
My name is Jill, and I don't like to sell. I'm an unhappy person. Everyone can go to heck. Complain, complain. That's all I like to do. My kids are ratty. The weather is cloudy, and I'm feeling sick too.
Hello there, Jill. They call me Happy Pete. I came to the store to buy myself a treat.
Do whatever you want. I don't really care. Just leave me here moping in the depths of despair.
You look so unhappy that you're making me sad. I won't buy as much, 'cause now I feel bad.
Selling is service.
Service is selling.
Service is selling.
Selling is service.
How about a scarf? You'll look dashing in jade. If you buy this Usyk, you'll have it made. We've got keychains and mugs and shirts to fit your budget. Buy all your gifts here. Everyone will love it.
I love spending money. It makes me feel so good. Look at all this cute stuff. Who cares if I should?
Selling is service.
And service is selling.
Service is selling.
And selling is service.
They had the same writer as Miss Paulson.
Wow. You found the whole, all I had was a little clip and you found it.
Wow.
That was long and painful. It reminded me of Miss Paulson's run for Senate. And this is what happens when you don't invest in Sesame Street. People start making their own versions and it just goes off the rail.
But them moves though. Them moves. Oh my god. Them moves. I don't even know if you call that dancing as much as walking to music.
It was dancing. They were bouncing and bopping. They were on a different beat, but they were having it. They were
What beat
dancing.
were they on? Oh my god.
1 and 3 or something. I don't know, but service is selling and selling is service.
Oh, I didn't even know you was gonna. Where did you find the rest of it?
Let me say
Somewhere in the bottom of YouTube hell.
And I just clipped it. I didn't even think you would have put that one. I thought you would have put the other one with the long praying guy. But
Let me say this real quick.
Selling his service and
And
services.
I try to find a way of saying this without offending people. And I went a whole week saying, please, I hope I'm not offending people. So take this for what it won't. I feel so white watching that video. I feel like I need to colonize a small island somewhere and make it a mega power.
Wait, that was you trying not to
Not to
offend
offend.
anyone?
Yeah, everybody who's white should be offended by that.
That
Only the
was
colonizers. Only the colonizers.
Yeah.
horrendous. We got people reading coloring books now at this point, watching that video. we got somebody who decided, no, I'm not gonna rap, I'm gonna sing. As I'm looking at the lines on a piece of paper in front of me, I don't know where the hell the dude just came from. The first dude that walking had to look down at his feet before he started walking. Food, that's your store. What the hell are you talking about? You don't even know what your store look like? No, I see the coloring book. That's exactly how I feel, like a
Help
child.
Donald
I
get
feel
to
like I need
Daisy,
to color
dang
stuff.
it! Just help him.
This was.
Ooh-wee. I had no idea you was gonna put. You should have told me. I just put a clip. Yeah, I literally put a 45-second clip on my Facebook page. This one is not.
But I
Service is silly.
will tell you this, because
Silly, this
I am going to
service.
play this one. The funny thing about it is that clip that you told me about the biscuits.
No, that's the Shirley Caesar one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I,
no,
I looked up what the difference of the Shirley Caesar versus I like the biscuits and blah 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 and all the other stuff. That was a parody. That's actually a
it had
group.
to
There's
be.
a whole video of that.
They had to be because who plays a concert at a Goodwill? I'm like, y'all literally at the Goodwill.
And then there's a 10-year anniversary of it where they're playing in the Goodwill bathroom. So I'm like, no.
Oh, Marlon, you chose to bring me back on that. Wow.
Yeah, you sent. Well, I mean, you sent me the. Well,
I posted it on my Facebook
you
page.
posted it.
Tracy, he's trying to set you up so that if he ever bans you again, he'll point back to this.
And he the one chose to play it. No, I thought you said I was back. I'm like, he gonna play that one with the guy was praying the chicken wing prayer.
The what?
The chicken wing prayer. The guy was
I
praying
don't
for
know that one.
chicken.
I don't know that one. You didn't send that to me.
I put it on the page. You was like, I'll just eat at this point. The church music was playing in the background. Black guy praying on his knee about chicken. I want to thank God for chicken. Okay, I'll have to send it to you.
Okay. That's creepy. Foxy's videos of the week. Let me get the first two political things out of the way because I'm literally still hearing this.
The fight?
Hmm?
The fight.
Fight? What are you saying?
The senator that was going to fight the Teamster guy.
No, I'm not going to watch that moron. I'm going to tell you the truth. Let me go sideways on that. The reason I'm not even going to show that is because that's a personal grudge that he's had since the late 2000s or something, and it was one. I'm not gonna play that. He's a moron. I'm not finna waste my time with that. Has nothing to do with government. That's completely and utterly personal.
But he pointed all the way back to Aaron Burr to justify his action.
He really did. He was like, "Well, Aaron Burr shot Alexander Hamilton."
Okay.
Like, dude.
Congratulations, you can read a history book. No, this was still too personal. It's just personal.
That's not generally known as a good thing.
It was a senator who had a Teamster, head of the Teamsters, in a committee meeting. And a guy read a tweet that the Teamster had wrote towards this senator. Was it senator? towards the congressman.
Mark Wayne or Michael Wayne. He's just got one name.
Yeah, but it's
names.
senators.
It was a senator?
It was a senator, and then it was Bernie Sanders. He was having his congressional meeting on something with the reunions and whatever.
So he read the tweet, and the bottom line of the tweet was, "I will fight you anytime, anywhere." And the senator went, "So this is the time and this is the place." And he stood up, and the guys just sat there and went, "So you said anytime, anywhere. Is that correct? Well, this is the time, this is the place." And he stood up like he was ready to fight. Okay, this would have been semi-interesting if it wasn't for the fact that tweet was like
8 years ago or something.
Yeah, 8-9 years ago when he said that, and he's been holding that grudge all those years. So I was like, no, I'm not gonna show this. You're an idiot, and I would call you a complete and utter idiot.
Well, he gonna want to fight you now.
Yeah, he gonna say Marlon. He
What,
just
you
wants
gonna
everybody
he takes MMA.
Yeah, he was an MMA fighter. That's all. That's all he wanted everybody to know.
Fantastic.
Yep.
You're still an idiot. Great. Wonderful. You're undefeated and you're still an idiot. Go do your job. I'm sick of you. Go do your freaking job or step down.
I agree with that.
Just tired of this crap, man. Y'all got more important things to be taken care of than some freaking grudge that happened 8 years ago, and you find an opportunity just to keep bringing it up. Go do your job that you're paid for, overly paid for, by the way, because you're taking more vacation time than a doctor, and you just sitting here want to still fight somebody.
But if they tried to do their job, then they could lose their job. It's easier to not do your job, so you can keep your job.
Yep.
I'm speaking to him personally. Grow up. This is childish. And if you don't understand that, I'll say it in a language which you would understand. Man up. Because if your whole mentality is, my daddy could beat your daddy, man the hell up.
That's what he was trying to do.
No. You're acting like a damn little kid that got into a little fight at the store for something that happened when you was a toddler in diapers. If you don't want to do your job, go sit your ass in the corner somewhere and let somebody else do it. I don't even care if it's another Republican. I just want your ass out of here. Got way too much shit to be worried about something that hurt your damn feelings 8 years ago on Twitter. Guess I ain't that sick. But anyway, I digress. I'm still hearing these things. It's two back-to-back.
Underwater.
I'm over here sweating like a mud, dude. Two back-to-back things. First of all, once again, we are not Biden fans.
Honey, we're not Biden followers. We're just going to vote for the guy. I don't have any shirts that have Biden on it. I don't have stickers. I don't have anything. Do you understand that? We're just voting for him to stop fascism. We don't worship him. We don't hang on every word he says. We don't think he's perfect. If he did something wrong and they proved it, put his ass in jail. That's the difference. We're not followers. That's y'all's crazy shit.
Now, before anybody say anything, we're going to roll it to the other side where, again, Diaz has brought it up a lot of times. I think all four of us have brought it up a lot of times. The belief in Trump.
Trump supporters. Are you okay with this rhetoric?
Yeah. Yes, they are. They're fine with that. Whatever the clip is that you're about to play, it doesn't matter how crazy of a thing Donald Trump is about to say, they're fine with that. They don't care. You can't still be asking that question at this point in the game. The answer is always yes. He can say anything he wants to. And if you're asking them whether or not they're okay with it, the answer will always be a resounding yes. He could be up on stage just like spitballing, freestyling, just like, yeah, you know what? I'm really sick and tired of little kids named Dylan. We gotta get rid of them. Or at the very least, force them to change their names to Scott. And if they won't change their names to Scott, then that's it. They're gone. And Trump supporters would be like, facts.
I want y'all to listen to what I'm about to say. Republicans, Trumpsters. I'm not even gonna say Republicans, but if you're trying to hide being a Trumpster, this is for you too. Biden is the president of the United States. He is not a megastar concert. He's not Beyonce. We're not worshiping him. I'm not going to put a Biden bumper sticker, t-shirt. I'm not going to make a cute little Christmas tree that y'all do. I'm not going to put bumper sticker. I'm not going to design my truck, my car, or anything out of Biden. But I want y'all to pay close attention to what I'm saying. I'm not doing that for any president. You are elected to go do a job. You're not a celebrity. Y'all the ones that fell for that crap. So me support, I don't even sit there and say support Biden. Would I vote for Biden? Yeah. Do I support everything that Biden says? Hell no. We literally took up the whole hour talking about the shit he did wrong now. You are elected to go do a job. You wanted Jesus Christ Superstar. Really, Tracy? That was a play and everything.
I know, but the reference, I got you.
And by the way, Tracy, I really, really don't like that.
I don't like it either. It's not even accurate. So,
but I digress.
Yeah, let's
I want to get off on a tangent on something else. Now let's move over to the second video. Stop saying, "Come on, guys, do y'all really support Trump?" Yes. It doesn't matter the topic. It really doesn't matter what your next statement afterwards was going to be. Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. You literally have people who, and I said in past videos, it falls into categories. You have people who Trump literally cannot do any wrong. Period. Point blank. End of story. We're done. It is what it is. He's Trump. He's not going to do anything wrong. The second level is, yeah, but it's not as bad as everybody's making it out to be. Then, yeah, he's bad, but I can't tell everybody how bad it is because I'm so deep into the woods with this thing. I want everybody to still believe that I support Trump. Well, there's one below that. Yeah, it's Trump and he's bad, but he's still with my agenda, so there's no way in hell I'm going to vote against him. Then there's the, yeah, he's bad, and I don't want people, because I'm so deep into it, that I want people to know that I figured out that he's a bad guy. Then you do finally have the people that's a small majority of a small majority of people who just like, what the fuck did I just do dealing with this dude? But please stop sitting there thinking that you're going to guilt trip these people or whatever. We could put a montage of things that this guy has said on Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, and everything else, and everybody will go, yeah, what about though? So, yeah, stop putting those videos up. They truly believe in everything this dude is doing. He can do no wrong, and yes, they do believe exactly what he's saying, or at the very least, you took it out of context. I'm done.
I'm not gonna say what I'm thinking because I got to go to work tomorrow.
All right, Anna.
I don't have a whole lot to add.
Theus?
Yeah, pretty much same here. I'm done diagnosing Trump and Trump support.
All right. Let's move on to the last one. Really short. I'm not even gonna take anybody down. This is a relationship advice. Whether you take it or not, it's up to you.
The most dangerous person to be with is somebody that doesn't want to love you, but also doesn't want to lose you.
Why would she even take the time to record that?
Because it's true.
It's true, but dang, girl, could you expand?
Every time you get in the pool, you get wet because there's water in it.
I gotta agree. Dang, this
No.
is
Get a towel and dry yourself off.
Wow, this is amazing. This is the third time I agree with this. Something's it's in the water. It's got to be in the water. Got to be in the water.
All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and move on.
You know, when it's cold outside, if you put on a coat, you're less cold.
Yeah, very, very true.
Hey, you should drink liquids when you're thirsty.
I'm good with the cold thing. What I don't like is, man, it's cold out here. You think this is cold? This ain't cold. Where I came from, it's really cold. Let me hold on for 1 second. You know what you just said doesn't make me warmer, so I'm still cold.
But not as cold as you would be.
And I'm still cold.
Okay.
Still cold. Last video of the night. God, this was funny. When a real person walks into a Hallmark movie.
Do you guys have like a restaurant in this town? Just a bunch of bakeries on the verge of being shut down? Okay. So all the hottest guys in town have wives who died. Has anybody looked into that? There's a life or death Christmas cookie competition. Do you kill the losers? What's this? An engagement ring? Dude, I met you like 14 minutes ago. Oh, could you point me toward the local inn? Oh, the hot handyman is still renovating it? Okay. More mistletoe. God, does everyone just make out with strangers here? Hey, where did my car go? I parked right here. I have to stay in this town until Christmas Day. Okay, did you guys steal my car?
That is so true. That is every Hallmark movie ever.
But the formula works because it's, you know what, Hallmark movie. Full disclosure, my favorite genre of movies is romantic comedies. I love romantic comedies. Hallmark Channel is like the Tubi of romantic comedies that you would find on a better channel. Like that's that low budget. We got one formula, guys. Run it. Small town girl moves to the big city, doesn't find that she doesn't fit in there, comes back to the small town, falls in love with the incredibly handsome guy who
runs the bakery.
Wife died.
He's got
no kids. But he's gonna inherit like a gazillion dollars.
He's got his 7 kids, and they sing songs, and it's called The Sound of Music. But hey, whatever.
The Von Trapp family.
Every time he's got kids, and the kids.
Wait.
They all the same.
You like the Brady Bunch, though.
The Brady Bunch is pure genius.
They each brought their own kids, though.
Yeah.
The Von Trapp family. He hired this woman, and then started dating the help. So he basically used her. He had to get her in a vulnerable position so that he would have the opportunity to end up.
DMs.
There you go.
That's what he did. He hired her for a reason, and it wasn't to take care of them kids.
Well, that was just a perk.
Yep. Because if you think about it, only the two little ones, those were the only two that couldn't literally take care of themselves. The other ones were like, I am 16, going on 17. Da, da, da,
Yeah.
da, da.
At least Mary Poppins came, did the job, and dipped.
But she was perfect in every way, though.
Practically perfect in every single way.
Oh, yeah, she did say practically.
It's about the dumbest damn conversation we've ever had on this show.
No, we've had worse.
Trap and Mary Poppins. The Von Trapp family and Mary Poppins.
All of those Hallmark movies are basically The Sound of Music. Every single last one of them.
But
there's a strong case of that. Yeah.
If you watch Sound of Music, you've watched every Hallmark movie.
Yeah, Hallmark movies are like musicals without the music.
I don't
like. They
watch
just decided to act instead, and it's always like three versions. They got three versions, and they just keep changing the characters. And let's go.
But it's the same actors.
Well, that's because they give a contract.
Yeah,
that's the other funny thing.
Candace Cameron, she's always in all of them. Every last one of them. She in every last one. I'm like, can't they get somebody else? Nope.
But get this though. This is the other side. This is where we get a little bit more political, right? So the Hallmark Channel decided they were going to become more inclusive, and people like Candace Cameron were very much against that. So those people, those super rabid, ultra weird Christian folk, not the normal Christian folk. The ones like the dude who has his son help him monitor his porn, those type of folks. But anyway, they were like, we will not be inclusive. You will not do that. So they actually formed another channel, which is very much like the Hallmark Channel, but it's like American class something. Just so they would not have to have anything that forces them to reflect
wait a minute.
society.
We're going to have to put Parker's name on the prayer list because how dare you not like the sound of music?
Before you go there, I just got a flash.
I used to like the sound of music. I don't like it anymore.
Kathy Hogan.
I tried to watch it. I couldn't go back and watch it.
Kathy Porcher per New York on high alert for a Thanksgiving snow bomb. Oh joy.
Yep, it's gonna snow. It's winter and everything.
Snow is gonna snow.
It always happens out west.
But Mickey's east.
No, it's about the Hallmark movies.
No, Hallmark movies, they have them every week. Every week. The Christmas ones are the worst ones, but they have those things every single day.
No, I'm saying like the setting. The setting is like small town America.
Christmas.
Yeah.
You know
we
what,
always
Parker?
gotta go back to Texas.
You need help because Lawrence Welk and The Sound of Music are awesome. I don't even know. I don't understand.
That's not what his question is.
Wait. What was that?
What is worse, Sound of Music or Lawrence Welk?
Neither.
I don't even know what a Lawrence. Oh, now I remember. That's that creepy mess that they brought up last. Yeah, Lawrence is worse.
No, I want to go to this. He really doesn't like The Sound of Music. I guess you don't like the West Side Story either. Like
that's not a fair comparison. West Side Story is very good. It's built off of Romeo and Juliet.
But it was
Sound
the
of Music.
same writers. It was by
They tried to romanticize the Holocaust. Boom. There you go.
They tried to romanticize the war between the Puerto Ricans and the white ethnics.
Okay.
That is not anywhere comparative to the Nazi invasion. At the same time that the Van Trapp family is singing songs because they're rich. Or whatever people call, while they were rich with their little rich world, at the same time, across the way, there was Anne Frank and her whole family being murdered.
Let's go a little deeper, Theo. This is what musicals do, though.
They're awesome.
Everybody always sit there and talk about Romeo and Juliet and the romance of Romeo and Juliet and how beautiful it is. Folks, sorry. The romance of Romeo and Juliet is between a 14 and 15-year-old kids.
But back then, they was like adults.
Romance off of teenagers?
Well, back then, they were expected to die when they were 35.
Yeah, so like back then, they were already like middle age.
They were late.
Yeah, they was old considering. I mean, look.
She's only gonna be able to have what 5, 6 kids. I mean, she's
Yep.
supposed to be able to get out there. He's 9, 10 of them.
Then Parker, you gonna dislike the Do Re Mi song? That's the best.
No, Do Re Mi is a good song in the movie, but the best one is the Goodnight song.
So
Yeah,
long,
I
farewell,
would do
let
good
people
night.
say
So
goodbye. Dun, 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 dun. See, I
Yeah,
go
that
in.
was the best song.
that
I
was the
think.
best song, but I do
Or
think
the song that they
Or
sung,
or the Hills Are Alive.
Climb Every Mountain is the best song from Sound of
Is
Music.
that the same song?
No,
The Hills
climb
Are
every.
Alive with the sound of music. Ooh.
No, Fizz, that's not how it goes.
I
Yes.
feel like I
Thank you,
wish
Learn Life.
I wish I
Captain
was
Von
there and
Trapp
could
was an
take my
actual
headphones
Navy
off.
captain who refused to serve the Nazis. That is absolutely true.
Yeah, but his privilege was what allowed them to have that big ass house and them rich ass kids and all that stuff going on. Meanwhile, across the way, there were people being put in cars and being gassed and all that. But I'm supposed to be concerned about the hills being alive with some music.
It's a musical, not a history lesson. I can say the same thing about Hamilton. That musical was all the way incorrect, but I still love it.
Well, I don't know nothing about that one. I had no interest in that. You sitting there trying to take a story that had nothing to do with our experience and then make some of the characters black. Okay.
They were 16 going on 17.
I am 16 going on 17. Way to go, Marlon.
You act like I wrote the damn play. Hell, I've never even watched the movie.
You never watched The Sound of Music?
No.
Have you seen The West
Oh,
Side
wow.
Story? I know you've seen Grease because y'all talk about it all the time.
Tracy, not only have I seen West Side Story for like 3 damn years in a row, they showed West Side Story. So yes.
And then Romeo Must Die. I never watched that one. I never watched it.
Probably because
And I didn't watch the remake of West Side Story either. I only liked the original one, where they had white people pretending to be Puerto Ricans.
Wait a minute, that's a remake of West Side
Yes,
Story?
there was a remake of
Yeah.
West Side Story.
They made a remake so it'd be more accurate, where they actually used Puerto Ricans and Latinos.
They used
But-
Puerto Ricans and
Oh,
Latinos.
you know what? That sounds familiar.
Because
That
whatchamacallit, she won the Oscar for playing the same role Rita Moreno played in the original movie.
What? Consider yourself lucky.
You know what's wild though? Check this out. How and it wasn't that big a time swing, right? So West Side Story, you got a bunch of white people pretending to be Puerto Ricans because you felt like you could tell the story better than the Puerto Ricans could. But Birth of a Nation, you had a bunch of white people playing black people, and it was a whole different experience, boy. I'm just saying. When they decide they want to imitate somebody, they sure can put a spin on their story.
Yep.
In our old West, 14 and 15 was the common marriage.
My
age.
grandmother married my grandfather and she was 15 or 16. She was one of them ages.
Go to the Mormon places. That's why they kept getting in trouble about child brides. And there's parts of Christianity that is very much big on child brides.
Right.
Like it's a big deal. Right. And then that also exists in Islam. So the whole thing about child brides is not new. It's child rape is what it is, but they call it child bride.
Israel or Islam as in the United States?
Islam,
Huh?
as in the Mosaic.
Islam, as in
Like as in Mecca and I was going to say Farrakhan, but that's Nation of Islam.
Because that's why I'm thinking the Nation of Islam is not.
The Nation of
Islam, yeah.
It's stated on the Islam doesn't recognize, and I know this because I have.
Well, they do. They do. They don't recognize them the same way, but they recognize.
Yeah, they recognize them like don't follow this because that's not what we believe.
Yeah, the Nation of Islam is to Islam what American pizza is to Italian food.
Italian pizza, yeah. It's kind of the same sort of, maybe.
We was inspired.
We use tomato sauce like they use.
And they're both delicious.
Thank you, everybody, for coming on the show. But I got to shut this down because
Get some Theraflu.
Marlon, you talking? We can't hear you.
I'm not muted.
Because I'm looking at some information of certain countries are good with 12, 13-year-old brides.
Yep. Soon as that period starts, they on them.
Yep. Even before.
And the UN would really love to eradicate child marriage by 2030.
You ain't gonna do nothing.
I know the Republicans in.
You ain't got no authority.
I know some Republicans in certain states are really trying to fight child labor laws.
The same ones are gonna be okay with child brides because they're gonna say that customs under the umbrella of religion should be protected. So
sounding really bad. Sorry, go ahead, Theus. Go finish.
no, I'm saying that's the way that they use these things. They first make it so you have to protect freedom of religion. Then they'll slide underneath that. Well, that's just this particular religious practice, and who are you to tell them how they can practice their faith? And all it does is it subjugates women. And in my opinion, and I know people don't in this hate way that they end it this way, but that's what major religions do. They subjugate women. Like, you can be as great as you want to be up to this point. Yeah, okay, but stay in your lane. And that's why I always have a lot of issues with all the different major religions. I'm just like, if I as a man am allowed to self-actualize as I see fit, I believe a woman should have the exact same freedom. There should be nothing to stop her from self-actualization in whatever form that comes. And if she chooses these particular guidelines and so forth, so be it. Right? But to say that, like, she can't teach if the child is over the age of, I don't know, was it 10 or something like that? Like, if the boy's over 10, then can't have a female teacher in some belief systems, or the woman can't be a minister because God doesn't talk to the women, he talks to the men, or the women have to cover themselves from head to toe because you don't want to stir up passions within men that don't belong to you. So it's like everything is like, woman, is your fault.
Yep, that's it.
And these guys, these poor guys, they can't help themselves.
What is it? But the whole temptation thing really started with the Old Testament, because you can look at Eve was the one that was tempted by the devil to eat the forbidden fruit. We're just going to ignore that you tempted Adam, even though he's the head of everything. He's in charge, and he was tempted, and he ate the same fruit.
And they blame her, and that's my problem. That is my problem, and it's not unique to Christianity. All of these major religions do that, and you know why they do that is because we as men wrote the dag blasted books. So we went in and we structured it in such a way that we get to be the hero and the victim.
But the funny thing about it is, if you take it to its purest form, you realize you're the head of the household. You're the man. You are in charge. But you so damn weak-minded, it took a woman to tempt you to do stuff that you know.
So you're doing it wrong.
Yeah, you really.
He's the leader, but she was not a good follower. So his only mistake was in trusting the person that he was supposed to be leading. That's how you tell the story. He's the victim.
Says no woman.
God, why did you give me this foolish woman?
I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, Marlon, you need to go to sleep.
Yeah, I really do. Yeah, tell everybody where they can find you.
Yo, I'm gonna take this moment to do that, right? So check this out, man. I'm really excited. So in the new year, I'm not saying that the company name because I still got to make sure that it gets approved. But doing a whole new thing. It's going to be membership based, so similar to what we were doing with Patreon. But that's how we can keep the money moving, so that we can do some things. I'm going to be doing some educational content, adulting class. It's just going to be a big deal, multifaceted, really excited, and that's it. But you can find me around here though.
Tracy.
Before I tell my channel, I want to thank every one of you guys for your thoughts of my cousin's passing. It still hasn't hit me. Thank you, Parker, for joining me on the show I did Saturday, because I really needed a good distraction. I was like, I gotta get distracted. So thank you, everybody that's had me in your prayers and in your thoughts. Continue to keep her parents, Valerie's parents, in your prayers, because it's never easy to lose a child. But as far as me, I will not be taping this Thursday, even though I announced it on Saturday, because this Thursday is Thanksgiving. So happy Thanksgiving to the ones who celebrated. I'll be back the 30th with my countdown, and you don't want to miss it. You can continue to watch my videos at TracyMediaLLC.com. Thank you.
Anna?
You can find me at BoreliaEtc.com, and we are heading into winter. Happy solstice to everybody. I just want to remind you, even though it's getting colder, don't put your guard down when it comes to ticks and insects that might carry something. They are shown to, because of climate change, because of deforestation, because of our habitation, they're getting closer and closer in every single state now. And the numbers they don't go down at this time. It's just less talked about. So please continue to be vigilant and either use a bug spray or, I've a lot of stuff on my site about how to stay safe. So please go visit there.
Thank you, Parker.
Oh, let me just say this real quick. The people, I never said anything about there not being a Saturday show. The reason that I never said anything about being a Saturday show is because we was throwing a surprise party for my sister-in-law who does watch the show. And I did not want her to know that we would not be here on the Saturday show. So she was utterly and completely surprised. A few tears were shedded. We had a grand old time, and the reason I put it on here so I can say Nana Nana Boo Boo, she's like,
happy birthday.
We got her really good. She was shocked. All props to her husband Carlos. It was fantastic. I'm not gonna give you credit. You put everything together. No, you didn't. You text everybody and everybody else put everything together. Yeah, fantastic idea.
Wow.
At least give Carlos some credit.
Yo, Carlos, great job being a project manager and making things come together, brother. That was awesome.
You know why I said what I said? He said it too. All I did was text.
He's being humble. He's being humble.
Yep,
he's being humble. That's how you be a good leader.
To step up and say, "Hey, we're gonna do this."
Nobody. But I did have to tell Foxy now because I heard part of it, and she pulled out her notebook, and I went, don't take over this. I know you. You'll take over this whole thing. So, really quick, Foxy took her sister out to everywhere, kept her out. Blah 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 and everything else. Now here's the funny story that I can say, and then we're done. The sister-in-law kept saying, "I had no clue that this was gonna happen. It's so great and wonderful, but I literally had no clue." I said, "You actually had a clue from the very beginning." I had no clue. I said, "Yeah, you kind of did have a clue." What was the clue? I said, my sister took you to get a your whole makeup, a professional makeup done on your face. What was the clue? Okay, yeah, she had your makeup done to do what? Go home. You had
people do that.
Yeah, people do that. I did that for my 35th birthday. I did that for my 35th birthday. I had my makeup done when I went home.
Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of sense to us, Marlon, but people do that. It's just like
You
that's
just want
just
to
what
see
they
what you
do.
look like. You be
They
like,
like,
oh,
yeah.
Because my deal was it would have been make more sense if you'd have took her out to have a massage. Then you would have hit it better.
Yeah, maybe, but I'm just saying, just so you know, that is very common because makeup ain't cheap, and
Sure
having an
ain't.
actual makeup artist is expensive too. So they view that as like going to sipping paint or anything like that girls go do. And I only know that because my teenager did this, my wife has done this, and I'm just like, but you just gonna come home and wash all that off. But for them, it was the experience. It was seeing themselves look different. It was all of that. So,
but it was a fantastic party, and Tracy, that's why I was saying that I'm gonna go ahead and do the show tonight because I was sick yesterday. And I went to the party.
Yeah, because it would have been nice to have some people on the show. I ain't gonna call nobody's name, but that's okay.
I'm sorry, I could not have been there.
I'm not even understanding what just happened.
I literally have no idea what
Tracy went live last night, and I couldn't.
Oh, I was.
Yeah, didn't nobody say, "Hey, I'm not coming"? I'm like,
I'm
okay,
sorry.
I'm just sitting here looking like an idiot.
Well, I was busy, so yeah, that's my excuse.
I'm okay.
I honestly, it just didn't catch me. So, and it's all I can do to make sure I show up on these. You know.
But
well, don't forget, you can make it up to me on the 30th when we do our after party, the last one of the year.
I'll dip in, but
what is
that's the after party. That's when I do the interview and then I go to the after party afterwards, like I used to do.
Can you maybe send like an email?
You'll get it. It's already scheduled to be sent.
The
30th of November. Yes.
Okay.
I'm about to say no. There's no way, but yeah, my family is weird. No, it's funny. The funny thing about it is, I'm about to say, Tracy, that's Thanksgiving. There's no way in the world, but my family is weird as crap.
That's like
our biggest blow.
It's a week after Thanksgiving.
Yeah, it's like a whole week after Thanksgiving.
Our biggest blowout is the night before Thanksgiving. By Thanksgiving,
no, Marlon. She's saying
November 30th.
30th. 30.
At the very end.
November the 30th.
I'm sick. Shut up. Leave me alone.
Okay, we'll leave you alone. But we meant the week after Thanksgiving.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, that is our show for tonight. Tracy, I appreciate Anna. I will be back next weekend. I don't know who's going to be with me, who's not, because and until next time.
And the legitimate clock.
Oh, crap.
You
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, I told you I'm not. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, non-conforming individuals, and of course,
I'm assuming you're legitimate.
That is our show for tonight. I appreciate Theus. I appreciate Tracy. I appreciate Anna. And until next time, we will see you when we see you. Peace.
You know, anyone ever really thought, so if you had velociraptors on Noah's Ark, did they have feathers?
Oh my gosh.
Maybe.